What's up, YouTube world? It's your boy Nytemare 10 once again, and I am live on back-to-back nights. I know 2021 has started off with a bang on the Nytemare 10 channel. I'm glad you guys are tuning in. Once again, I'm going to give time for people to get in here, see if anybody is free again. Back-to-back nights. We had a really good live stream last night talking about Pokemon, showing my collection, but I didn't really actually show much of my collection because we were kind of just geeking out and getting information from Matt That's Who, or as I call him, Matt Beast 1419. I will try to put links to theirs in that last thread, but let's go ahead and share this on Twitter for those that do not instantly have it on here. All right, let's go to channel. It's gonna like echo. Channel. All right, let's see. Copy that. Come join us for night number 2. All right, let me make sure nobody's said anything yet. What's up, Phil the Legend? That's exactly right, Randy. Randy is the man, by the way. Randy, you know what I'm talking about, but thank you for the message you sent me today, man. Meant a lot. And honestly, honest to God did. Just want to tell you that. Thank you, Randy. Randy, it's the year of the Nightmare. It's the month of the Nightmare, right? That's what we're going to do. Actually, I just thought about that thanks to Randy. This is the year of the Nightmare. 2021 is going to be the year you see more of Nytemare 10, once again, than you have ever seen in your entire life. So if you're sick of this face, go ahead and click out. Go ahead and unsubscribe. Go ahead and do all that because you're going to want to, because you're going to see more and more of this face if you don't like seeing it. And I don't care, because guess what we always say, Randy? Hit it up in the chat. Randy knows what I'm about to say. If they hate, let them hate. If they hate, let them hate. It's literally probably what I'm going to get as a tattoo in the next couple weeks. That is a tattoo idea I've wanted. I've got another tattoo that I want, and then another one, and there's probably more, but there's at least 3 ideas that I have that are going to happen at some point. So if they hate, let them hate is probably going to be shown, and you'll see it on Instagram. You'll see all that stuff. And oh my God, it's already went nuts. It's Ross. And guess who's on the stream? Let's get him on here. It's we, the Piwko. I am the king of intros. What's up, Piwko?
I should have had a better entrance.
I also need some earphones, by the way, because I'm not going to be able to hear you. Earphones, do they still call them that back in 2021? The year of the Nightmare, Piwko. I don't know if you heard that, but that's what I'm calling it now.
Well, in the year of the Nightmare, I'm going to say I will be right back.
She said, "You want me to take you down?"
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. I mean, you can stay there or not. Designer.
Guest host by The Undertaker.
Guest host by The Undertaker. So, all right, we'll leave him up there for now. Piwko's here. They hate us because they ain't us, Randy. That's exactly right. Ross is in the chat. Wasn't there last night. What's up, Ross? As I'm trying to get this tweet out right now. The Piwko is with us here. Go ahead and add that. And Matt might join us, so I'll go ahead and add Matt on that tweet there. Hashtag Year of the Nightmare. Of the Nightmare is a new hashtag. So, Randy, I'm going to need you to help me with that. Spread that. Year of the Nightmare. Hashtag Nightmare Live. I don't know. Live, I guess. We'll just do live for now. Hashtag live. I don't know what that was about. I am collecting Pokemon now, Ross. And I tried to get in the last Jules break, and I haven't got to finish the video. But I'm going to start getting into those breaks as well. Look what I have, Ross. I don't know how much you know, but I have found out that I have a gold mine right here. Year of the Nightmare. Hashtag Year of the Nightmare. I'm going to put oh, Matt's here. Here he goes. There you go. Sorry, Matt.
All right.
Let's there you go. That'll work right there.
I'm actually looking for a Cinderace card that I might have in my bulk because it was just announced that it's an error card.
What does that mean? Yeah.
It's supposed to have a retreat cost of 2 normal energy. But it was printed with 1, so I'm looking to see if it's in my bulk anywhere.
Okay, hopefully you find that. But look, Ross, 2 gold mines apparently, according to Matt, if they grade well. I don't know what the drop off is if they don't grade well. I don't know if Matt ever told me that, but
yeah, I never saw like a PSA 8, for instance. I think a PSA 8, I might have saw them going for like 500 plus.
But what I'll say is this, Matt, like even graded, unless it's like a 6 or less, I would think like would still be cool for the collection purposes. You know what I'm saying? Like if it grades like bad to the point where like at least it would be protected. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
It doesn't look bad. Like I'm during this live stream, I'm going to take some more of my dark ones out because I'm kind of feeling like if I get the dark Charizard graded, I want to get the others graded as well, regardless of value.
I also want the dark Dragonite graded.
Oh yeah, I showed you. That was the one I just showed. Yeah.
That.
And then I have this Squirtle. That's a dark Squirtle, I believe. Well, no, it's not a dark Squirtle. It's but it's in that set, first edition.
Dang, I don't think I have one. That sucks.
Yours is in bad condition, Ross. That sucks. I mean, some of these are probably. I mean, the thing is so Ross, this is the binder. I don't know if you watched my little live stream last night.
Ross's chat's not showing up on the StreamYard.
They're showing up for me.
Huh.
Are they showing in actual? Yeah, they're showing up in actual YouTube as well. So I'm not sure.
That's trash. I'll have to go on YouTube.
Yeah. I have both up, so that's why I saw that. But yeah, I'll get Pink. Hopefully, Piwko will tell me when he's ready. Oh, he's already here, so he's good. I thought I put him down. But I have apparently a lot in this collection. So yeah, it would probably get a PSA 6 or something. Yours would, yeah. What is the like? At what point? What PSA grade, Matt? Would you say like is gonna devalue it?
What's up, Randy?
Well, I guess for Pokemon purposes, because I don't know as far as like outside of that. Like, I mean, I don't really care. I do care, but I mean, in this regard, maybe a 7. Yeah.
Yeah, about a 7. Anything below an 8, I think, would be
That's what I would
negative
say.
grade, unless it's like anything. If you get like even just the base hit Charizard, like PSA 5 or something, it'd still be a good card to get because some old cards, even though they grade poorly, will still
have value because they're old.
Yeah. They're so old.
And plus, it's the condition. Like, so what did they grade it? Did they grade it because of the edges or something? Like, I think people that there are going to be people that collect it for the PSA like 10 and all that. But I also think that like they want it in good condition. So if they see it in the slab, so here's an example: Freddie Freeman, Atlanta. I got this from a random pack break thing that Alex Lorenzo actually did. Shout out to the Lorenzo brothers. But see, this is a 9. But look how like that's what it's going to come in for those people that don't know that watch this. But
I don't know about the sports card community, but a lot of people are starting to really like BDS and CGC more than they like PSA.
More than Beckett. This is Beckett, by the way. This is Beckett.
Beckett, yeah. The Beckett grades and the CGC grades because they feel like that if you get a 10 in BDS or CGC, it's actually a true 10 because people are saying PSA isn't grading harshly at the moment.
Oh, so they're being a little more lenient.
Yeah, that's why I sent my cards to PSA because I'm like, look, because more people know PSA.
Right.
And
Beckett, I would say, but is Beckett at one time stopped? I don't know if I assume they started back, but
yeah. And CGC's like Ross just said, it's starting to gain traction. I don't know if he said SGC. I don't know if that's something else or all I know is CGC, Beckett, and PSA. That's all I know.
Yeah, what was up? You said it's SCG. Is that what it is?
That's what Ross said. I don't know if he's talking about another one, but the one I'm talking about is CGC. They recently started doing it. They're a comic grading service, and they recently started doing cards more recently. And the cool thing about Beckett, I think Beckett gives half grades, don't they? I don't know.
Yeah. So like my Chris Bryant, I don't know if you ever saw that card, but Chris Bryant that I got was a 9.5.
Okay, yeah. See, they do the half grades as well as with CGC. They both do half grades.
Yeah. So how much? So per card, I don't know if it's like a bulk deal or whatever. You can add that in as well. But like, is it like how much is it per card to send it to at least a piece PSA? Since that's what you did.
I went through a third party actually because
okay, gotcha.
right now to send a card to PSA, it's like $50 a card.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
The third party I went through was $13 a card. So
mine was $15 a card when I did it. I don't think. And Ross, maybe you know more about this than I do. Actually, but does
okay?
Piwko's back. Okay, Ross, does Sam still do BGS? Still do graded cards? I don't think he does. He stopped it for a while. And that was $15 for me to do the Chris Bryant at the time. God, I wish I still had that card now. But it is what it is. It's not. Well, no, it wouldn't sell. No, it wouldn't sell now. But it's just like to have it in my collection.
I would
I've
buy
already
it.
seen this, but this is my card pickup for the day. I got the Amazing Rares Ossian. Now I just need 3 more Amazing Rares.
Did you post that?
No, I hadn't posted it yet. I literally had it in the mail today. Piwko's the only one I sent the picture to so far.
Here, Phil. Here's the BGS 9.5 Chris Bryant card for the day.
Oh, there you go. See, I love the gold. The gold, I love that.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Honestly,
Piwko, you didn't see this, but I was showing this as just an example because I got it out. You know when Alex did the $5 card thing? You were part of that, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I got this from him and Freddie Freeman, but like I just love how it is in the case. Like a base card, like if there's a base card that I like, I'd rather it be in this.
See, for me, I like the PSA for just a base card, but I like the
you said PSA.
I like that for autographs.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So, yeah, Switchblade.
Right, well, right, Ross. I thought that too, but like it seems like he should still. I don't know. I feel like Sam might start that back up one day. Sam has a Twitch now, Ross. Like that's crazy.
Piwko, I don't know how much base set Sword and Shield you opened, but there's an error card in that set now. There's a Cinderace in there that had apparently a retreat cost on there. It's a retreat cost of 1 normal energy, and it was supposed to be of 2. So now that card has gone from $1 to like $20.
So those are going to be hard to find now. The Sword and Shield base.
What set was that?
Sword and Shield base set Cinderace.
Cinderace? Is that what it says on the outside?
Yeah, that's the card. Here, I'll show you a hollow version of a card because I have a hollow version. And they said it's card number 36 out of 202. This is card 35 out of 202. But it's Cinderace from that set.
Oh, so what do you have the error one then?
Well, it's not the exact error, but it does have the 1-star retreat. So I don't know if this card's going to go up in value as well. So I don't know.
See, that's one of those things that like it's like only Pokemon people would know it.
So this is one I was going to show off. This was one I was going to show off last night. As I'm going through my binder while we're talking. I believe this is a hollow. Matt, you can correct me, but a hollow Machamp, and it's got the star in the corner. It's also a first edition, by the way.
The only thing about Machamp, though, that's like one of the most common first edition basic cards out there.
Right.
So it's pretty easy to find. That's one of the only first editions that are kind of easier to find.
Yeah. Well, he seems like I got a bunch of him and a bunch of hollow of him in like the new sets that I've opened.
So
maybe
freaking Machampion's Path. God.
Yeah. Big Champion's Path. Yeah.
He is everywhere.
That's the one that he's in it. He's in it a lot.
He is in it a lot. It's ridiculous. I got tired of pulling him.
Oh, Matt, you're gonna have to look this one up for me too.
Who wants to see the new logo I'm working on for Phil?
Dark Blastoid. It's not a hollow. First edition. Yeah.
Here's the new logo I'm working on for this live show for Phil. I think it's pretty good, honestly. It might be my best work.
I got you, Ross. There's a rare one and then a non-rare one. I got you.
I got my.
I'm trying to get these. I'm trying to get these in sleeves while we're talking. I figured that would be a good time to do it while we're talking about different things. But
I'm making this logo.
Ross, you've gotten into a couple of the breaks. The Pokemon breaks, are they worth that? Because like you get a random type. You have to be pretty quick to get into the break because there's like only like 5, 6 types. So, but I know Ross has gotten into them a couple times. But there's like Jules is the one that usually does them. For those that don't know what I'm talking about, but it's Cart Smith's breaks. They usually do like Champions Pass in them, and she throws in those like what are the little boxes that you opened recently, Matt? The
trainer box.
Yeah, little trainer box. They'll throw those in there as well. And then she usually throws like a bunch of like random like this time she gave away magnets and like different things to in the breaks. So
I would hate doing a booster or a box break for freaking Champions Path.
Well, no, yeah, but there's like there's not just one. You know what I'm saying? Like there's each Not to send you a link of what I'm talking about.
And Phil, to answer you, the last PSA 10 Dark Blast Boys non-hollow first edition went for $405.
Still crazy though.
Mm-hmm.
That's still crazy.
That's still a good one.
Yeah, I'm going all the dark ones for sure. Any first edition, I'm gonna eventually obviously take out, of course. But so just asking you, they're a bit overpriced in my opinion, but I do it anyway. A bit overpriced, I got you. Yeah, I think the last one was like 60 something for the break. Here's the thing about break. For those that don't know, that watch this over with, or that maybe even Matt doesn't know, I don't know. But like when you buy into a break, like the point of buying into a break is you have a better chance of like, so like if you get to buy the team, random is not so much, but you can only get one type of something. So randoms can always seem to like, and I'm talking about sports or Pokemon, whatever. But if you buy a team, you're like, so like obviously it sucks if your team has a high draft pick because you're going to pay a lot for that spot. But you get to buy into a case. So instead of buying a box of $100, like let's say $100, let's just say $100 to $200, $300 hobby box and get whatever's in there, right? You're guaranteed to get whatever in there, right? So that's the good part about that. The bad part about that is, let's just say looking back, you could get a Johnny Manziel, or you could get, at the time that was hot. So if you sold it right away, you would have been good. But like you could get something that you don't PC, right? And to me, I would much rather go into a break and take a chance at getting nothing, because there is a chance you can get nothing. It's like playing the card lottery. But I mean, if you know how to break and you get into good breaks and you break with the right people, you get like things anyway. Hitless packs is what Sam calls them. And I think Pinko, doesn't the Tommy shop do breaks now too, or no?
Yeah, that's like he started with breaks and now he's got a shop.
Yeah, so I mean, and that's honestly one of my goals. I would love to get to that point. At first, it was just gonna be wrestling. Maybe I'll start doing Pokemon breaks. I don't know. that would be kind of cool. Like because I would do it for cost. It wouldn't even be about money.
Mm-hmm.
It would just be to get everybody on and have some people to get a chance at some stuff. But so that's an idea in the future. But yeah, like if you get into a break, I mean, obviously I look at it for the Patriots, and then of course if you have a college team, and then also it's a great way for me to buy cards that I know I can give as gifts, right? So like back in the day, the Jets weren't that hot. Well, I don't know if the Jets. No, I think the Jets were very low as far as they didn't have a top high pick, or at least I didn't care about the top pick. Oh, Detective Pikachu, that's cool.
There you go, Pico.
Where'd you get that from?
They had those boxes at Myers today, and I was like, do I really want to buy these Detective Pikachu cards? I think they're going to be like big, and I really like them. So
this card comes in every copy of the Detective Pikachu Blu-ray.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, and I got the Detective Pikachu Blu-ray for like $5.
I bought that on Black Friday, but apparently I did not. If I did, I don't know what I did with it.
Pico was asking me about Pikachu cards, so I was looking for some.
That was by far, like, you just have low expectations for movies sometimes. Now, Matt, you might have had a high expectation for that movie, but I had
high expectations for that movie.
I had low expectations because I don't know, it just looked awful to me. Like as far as the trailer, then I watched it. And I was blown away by that movie. It's an amazing movie. So if you haven't seen it, what we were just referencing was Detective Pikachu. It's great. Ryan Reynolds is amazing as Pikachu. I thought it was going to be cheesy as hell. It was awesome. Matt, I don't know how you feel as being a true. Good Lord, have a massive card. Hey, can you grade those?
I don't know. You might be able to.
That would be insane. Dude, I
want more of those. I have the Charizard and the Cinderace.
So I want to buy those packs that I was talking about last night, like the box that comes with those, but like none of them have anything in them that you said are good. So it's like, oh, that's a sick one. I like that one.
Yeah.
So like I just want to, like, if I see one in there that I haven't seen one that really wowed me yet, but if I see one that wows me, I'm just gonna buy it. I don't even care what,
Mm-hmm.
But those are like $20 a pop.
Oh yeah, they're expensive.
Yeah. I can't find. Didn't you guys say there was one of those that they did that were $10 or something at Walmart?
Yes. The one that
I
I'm
haven't yet
talking
to find
about,
those.
it was like an $8 box. It had the Sil Valley and a Lowland Raichu, and it was some other card, some other one. The Marshadow. There's 4 of them. Marshadow, Lowland Raichu, Sil Valley, Tapu Koko. They were $8, and you got 3 packs, which is a really good deal.
That's a really good deal, but unless they're priced wrong, because I don't trust most of the Walmarts that I go to in their card section. But
well, they're all supposed to be $8. It wasn't priced wrong.
No, I'm talking about like at mine. Like I haven't seen an $8 pricing on any of those. Yeah.
Well, like I said, I didn't see them anywhere, and then I with my job, I go to a different store every day. So sometimes I go into the local Walmart of that store. And the one I go to most often, because it typically has better hits. That's where I got my Panini Prism boxes that I was able to get. I actually got those the same day that I got those $8 boxes. The guy that said he just put them out, and he looked like it was a Walmart employee. So I know it's not from a vendor. I think Walmart got them in a display.
Oh wow!
It just depends if your Walmart actually put them out or got them. I don't know what the deal was with that. I just know that they got a bunch of them, if they got the display. And I looked out and found them.
Another thing I wasn't even gonna bother sending a picture of it because I just know that it's probably a complete waste of money. But go ahead.
I'm sorry, Phil.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was going to answer Ross's question. Ross, there's not going to be a booster box of Shining Fates. With Pokemon special sets, they never release a booster box. The best pack value you can ever get for one of those is an Elite Trainer box, typically, which will give you 10 packs. That's the most amount of packs you can get in a single product.
And let me tell you, after opening, obviously, as you saw the last live stream, well, I don't know if I ever counted them out for the live stream, but after buying, 8 ETBs, I wouldn't buy anything else. As long as I know that set is good, I'm buying an ETB. You get these sleeves in them, Ross, as well. Like, you get stuff to play the game, obviously. Matt has a great, by the way, I'll link that maybe, if I can figure out how to do it. But Matt has a great video about when he opens up his ETB, you can see everything in it, and he explains it like a genius and awesome. Way better than I could do it. So,
and the Shining Fates Elite Trainer box will have a exclusive promo VMAX EV card. Wow. That's going to be a good card for everyone to go out and get. It's going to be like the Charizard Champions Path where you get a guarantee.
Yeah. Let's see if I have that. Oh, yeah, right here. This comes in Champions Path, Ross. I still have one of them in the plastic.
Yeah.
Other one I put in the top loader, but that's a sick card. Which is apparently going for what, 20 you said last night?
It went down to 10 because Champions Path has been so overprinted lately.
See, that's the only problem. That's the only problem with Pokemon that from what I've gathered and the things that you tell me. So, like, if you buy a football card, they can't reprint that. They're not ever going to reprint those cards. Like,
Panini has been,
Well, what
I'm a little suspicious with the basketball products. I
guess what I'm saying is like the base could be reprinted, right?
Mm-hmm.
That can be reprinted. Let me rephrase that. But when a card is numbered, to my knowledge, that has never been reprinted.
No.
So that's what I was getting at. So that's
Yeah, and like Pokemon, they do reprints pretty often.
And unless you follow it, right? Like unless you follow it, it's gonna be hard.
Yeah, like Evolutions, it's hard to buy now, but the main thing I worry about with the longevity of Evolutions is they put out so much of it, and they're still probably going to do more just because it sold so well lately. And they just do so many reprints. And like Evolutions was actually the third quote unquote reprint of Evolutions cards. There's the base set. There's one called Legendary Collections, which Legendary Collections is, go look at the prices of some of those cards. It's crazy. And Evolutions.
I want to put this one in the sleeve. I don't know if this is worth anything, but I want to put that one in the sleeve. A Hollow Raichu. It's got a Pokemon symbol with a 2? I'm not sure what that means.
That's from base set 2.
Base set 2. Okay.
They had a base set and then a base set 2 where they added a couple more cards.
I need the Pikachu. These are the other ones that I got, Ross. And this is Vivid Vultures. This is what you get in that. Good lord. That's what honestly, God, I don't know if you know this, but these are like $10 outside of box. Mm-hmm. They're like expensive. So it's like that's one thing that, like I was gonna tell Ross is like you get that. So the Vivid Vultures is what is $40, right? Yeah. So like that jumps it down to 30 already. So I think it's well worth the value. And they're just so cool to open. Like it's one of the coolest boxes to open, in my opinion. I don't know what Matt thinks, but
oh yeah, I mean,
which one?
I enjoy them.
Well, just in general, like the ETBs, like
which one?
Well, to me, Champion's Path and Vivid Vultures is the only ones I've opened. So you've opened the other ones.
Yeah, I like Vivid Voltage honestly the best because like Champion's Path, I already hit it's just so repetitive. Like when I opened up all those evolutions, it's like it gets to a point where you see Caterpie so many times where you're like, I don't need to see this anymore.
Well, here's the thing that happened with me. I guess I was getting lucky in the early Champion's Pass. Mm-hmm. Then I got Champion's Path, and I kept getting. I gotta find it where I did with it, but I kept getting the same like popular hits.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Ryan? Let me see what Ross said.
Matt Beast 10.
Matt Beast 10.
Matt Beast 10.
Matt Beast 1419. Ryan, come on, Ryan. Shout out to Ryan Falcone.
Yeah, Ross, that's what I was thinking. Like I was watching some of your videos, and it's like, dang, this man got an Evolutions box. I wonder how much he paid for it. And now there's that answered my question. $120. That's crazy.
That's high, right? Or no,
that's low compared to what it is now because it's like $300 now.
That's insane.
On the topic of sleeves, I keep up with like Japanese sets too. They released this Ncaa box set, and the sleeves that come out of that box set are going for $40 right now.
Wow,
that's ridiculous.
He said, "I got your Evolution box right here." He's so stupid.
Oh, I bet. Send it over.
Yeah, come on. Don't be teasing us. We don't like teases in here. How's Disney, Ryan? How's Disney treating you?
He's at Disney.
He used to work in some aspect.
When you go to Disney and they have like Goofy's walking down, he's Goofy. Like he's in the Goofy costume.
That's exactly what he gets paid 3 G's, 6 figures. God, I couldn't even forget it. The joke's gone now.
That's wild.
Get this, Ross. Get this about what Ross just said. I don't know if that's what Matt was reacting
Star Wars
to.
Figures.
But top loaders and sleeves. Literally the only hobby shop that I haven't gone to the new one yet, but the one I normally go to if I even can get over there because it's not exactly close. They're limited, and they're like 6 a pop. 6. So these I just opened my second one, and I'm probably gonna have to go by there tomorrow and get some. But it was like I think 6 a piece, and I was like, damn, I guess I'll just grab 2. I'm like, these are like $3 usually, if not cheaper than that.
Phil, the one time that I went on like the restock day for cards at my Walmart before Christmas, there was one day that it was supposed to be, and there was 2 packs of top loaders like sitting there, and I was like, well, I'm going to take these. The next day we go in the morning when they open, and everyone's like all disappointed. There's no Panini Prism football, and then I see 2 more packs of top loaders, and I'm like, well, if nobody wants these, so I just took them away. I was like, I mean, come on.
I mean, it's insane. Like 2020 changed the game in a lot of different like hobbies and a lot of other things too.
I mean, all I'm saying is
some for the good, some for the bad.
There's a certain look at this guy.
He's over sitting on those.
Open one right now, Beast.
Here's the problem. Yeah, here's the problem on that, Matt Beast. Like the rookies in there, you have to sell those before those rookies start sucking.
Justin Herbert got me. Oh,
but that's this year.
He got me.
They drop off in that second year.
Phil, but just wait until a couple of years when some of the other rookies become, what if there's a Patrick Mahomes sitting in there? I don't know. What if there's someone with the initials JL, let's say there's a guy named with the initials of JL in that set right there that becomes the next greatest of all time.
He means Jordan Love. But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. I'm not saying open all of them, but there's some of those cards in there that are hot at their hottest peak right now.
Yeah, like
I'm not opening.
I'm
not touching. I'm not opening these at all.
Like you're definitely gonna.
What are they going for? What are they going for right now, man?
Those are probably like I don't know, between like 15 and 30, maybe 35.
No, last time I checked, they're going for 50.
50?
Oh, okay. So they're up now.
That's the $10. That's the $10 hanger box, right?
Yeah. 17 something
17.
maybe.
Okay.
I think it's different because I know Target has 10 cards per box.
Yeah,
Walmart has
yeah.
20.
Yeah, ours are $10, I think. I haven't even seen them. The guys get them every time. I haven't seen Prism. Oh, I did see it in the back when he showed it to me, but I didn't buy it. I'm not allowed to buy it in the back, so
Dang.
just throwing it out there. Yeah, the massive L. But yeah, so yeah, but what I'm saying is it's a game. Like there's a game, there's money to be had in cards. There's 100%. And Matt, I trust you. I'm not saying
You gotta
that you don't know what you're doing. I'm just saying,
look
like
towards the future, Ryan.
with football, I don't know, man. I don't know. I would trust. I just don't trust the value of a football card. I just don't.
I don't trust the value of a Pokemon card, let alone
Well,
a football card.
I guess. Well, I guess that's true. That is true. Over here talking about Jordan Love when his quarterback is the NFL MVP. Is he the MVP, Ryan? Clearly, right?
That's
He's clearly the MVP, right?
This
Clearly.
year.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Which is crazy. Oh yeah, he definitely is. I'm not arguing it. I'm just saying, like, it's crazy how like it changed a lot this year, and then all of a sudden, boom, it's Aaron Rodgers. I mean, it was Russell Wilson at one point. Most would agree, right? So it's crazy. I don't know who else I would say. There was someone else. Who else did I? Well, you could always make a case for Derrick Henry. He's not going to win it, but
I need people to stop listing box breaks on eBay because it just floods my soul. I'm trying to find stuff.
Yeah, sports can be rough, Ross. That's what I'm saying. So, like, you got to know. Like, you got to know the sport. I think knowing the sport helps. Dude, Ryan, thank you for saying that. And this is not a sports show again, but we're still going to do it. What the hell? It's a live stream. Sorry, this is what you get. I want to talk about that on Grit's podcast as well, because people in my league argued they will argue with you tooth and nail that you have to go quarterback early. And every year I'm in the championship and I am the last one to take a starting quarterback, and they still don't listen to me.
Who's arguing with you about that? They don't know anything.
Right, Matt? Right? Matt, you can vouch for me. I literally took I think I might have reached in that league, though, actually. I don't remember. But I said reach for him. But I took Tom Brady, who was one of the last ones taken as a starting quarterback in our league. And who won that league, Matt?
Yeah.
So
I mean, normally my strategy.
I agree, Ryan. You are a noob. You 100% are not. You can still win, but you're not winning based on actual strategy. Yeah.
Yeah, my strategy of it, I normally try and fill out all my positions and then try to get a quarterback that I feel like I'm not reaching for. Like if Kyler Murray is in like a position where I like him, kind of like Ross said, like a round 5 or something, then I'd pull a trigger on like a Kyler Murray type of guy.
So I did that this year in one of my leagues with Dak Prescott, because to me, I think it was like the 6th or the 7th. To me, that was a steal in the 6th or 7th, because he was going high in drafts this year. Mm-hmm. Because for those that don't know fantasy football, he was the leading scoring quarterback last year, I believe, right? Or was it behind Jackson? I can't remember. But I mean,
he would have been the leading scoring quarterback this year if he didn't.
Right. And so, by the way, here's to that argument. I drafted Dak Prescott. We all know what happened, right? I still ended up in the championship game. That tells you right there. I mean, I got lucky and was able to get, because there's just quarterbacks. It's a scoring league. I mean, Josh Allen, before the Bills were actually good, was legit good anyways. Like Josh Allen was a sleeper because no one wanted Josh Allen because the Bills weren't like this star team. But like,
I knew about Josh Allen.
I wanted Josh Allen. He was like a top 6 quarterback in fantasy last season.
Right. Josh Allen. And when JoshAllen.com.
And here's the thing. So someone also to that point, Ryan said, is basically saying this in the chat as well. Ryan said go heavy on running back and wide receiver early because guess what? Running back drop off is real. Matt, you would agree with this as well. The running back drop off is insane. To me, this is me, and Ryan, you can tell me what you feel on this as well, even though you kind of said it. And Matt, like if you don't draft a running back in the first round, I don't know what to tell you.
Hey, I have one thing I want to brag about real quick.
I don't know what to tell you.
In one of my leagues, I drafted Michael Thomas with my first overall pick because I wanted Michael Thomas.
That. Go ahead. Go ahead.
And I won the league because I picked up Myles Gaskin and Josh Robinson.
Oh, Josh Robinson was huge, and then he got hurt for me in my title game, so he can kiss my behind. No, I'm just kidding. I was already out. That was the second week. It was one of those 2 weeks.
Yeah, and in that same league in my championship matchup, I was going up against Kamara in his 60-point game, and I still won. I was so hyped.
And another guy that I will draft every year until it finally drops off, because he's done it every year, is Stephon Diggs.
Tom Brady.
Oh. Stephon Diggs. He's a Tom Brady. Actually, Tom Brady, this is the first year I've drafted him in a long time. But yeah, I mean, I get your point, Matt. Michael Thomas is like an exception. Mm-hmm. But here's why I don't take a receiver, number one, right? Because if you took Julio Jones in the first round this year, your team is probably not doing good. Because I took Julio Jones, but guess what? I got him. I got him in the second round. So, and I didn't really like the pick, to be completely honest.
And I mean,
and I lost in my championship in that league, but.
In that league, my team ended up being like Aaron Rodgers, Jonathan Taylor, Aaron Jones, Justin Jefferson. Irv Smith was my tight end at the last week, who scored 23 points on the very last game. T. Higgins, Myles Gaskin, Josh Robinson. I just made this was a league where people didn't care as much, though, to be fair. And that's why I drafted a wide receiver first, because I was like, I don't care as much about this one. And it ended up being good for me.
And I know I've seen Alex do this, and Matt maybe, and Ryan, you can comment as well, and I guess Piwko, I don't even know if you play enough to care, but like I try not to draft the same team in every league, which can go one way or the other way, right? Alex says he likes to draft the exact same league team. So what do you feel about that?
I try to diversify my teams a little bit. There's a couple of people that I want in every league. Like in all my dynasty leagues, I was trying to get Jonathan Taylor and Justin Jefferson, no matter what. I wanted Justin Jefferson and Jonathan Taylor. And because there's always my guys that I go after. Like last year was DK Metcalf. Right. I was wanting to buy DK Metcalf anywhere I could, because I play more dynasty leagues than I do redraft leagues right now. Because in redraft, I follow just pretty much a very easy formula. It's just pretty much I do it in all my leagues, redraft and dynasty. It's pretty much a formula of find rookies, because people undervalue rookies because they're scared that they're not going to produce, and try to find the rookies that have the best situation. Like Justin Jefferson, he was walking into a team that had so many vacated targets because Stephon Diggs was so huge. Yep. And you're always wanting to look for something like that. Like with Jonathan Taylor, he's behind one of the best running back or best offensive lines in the entire league. And you definitely want that. And it turned out even better because Marlon Mack got hurt. Of course, at the beginning of the year, we're all like, oh, Jonathan Taylor's not looking that good. But the last couple games, he poured it on. I want to say I'm looking at it right now, he was number 6 in PPR scoring formats.
Yeah.
So that's what I typically do.
And one thing, like people, I was looking back over my championship team here in our league, in the league that me and you were in. And people always, it never fails. You'll hear people be like, my draft grade was an A. Ha ha ha, yours is a D. I just looked at this. I was projected to finish 10th going into the season, and I won it all.
Those draft grades mean absolutely
they're
nothing.
awful. They're awful. So my team, for those that are watching this and want to know, was Tom Brady, Adam Thielen, Stephon Diggs, Josh Jacobs, Ezekiel Elliott, Logan Thomas, tight end / Hayden Hurst, because I played Hayden Hurst most of the year. Justin Jefferson, and Terry McLaurin was also on my team. He got hurt late, and wow, that team is unreal.
Oh yeah, you had a really good team.
That team, like and like you said, pickups are huge too. Like who you pick up, and I still cannot believe, even though Zeke wasn't what he was, what he usually is, I still can't believe I got Josh Jacobs and Zeke. I still can't believe that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I need to look back at the draft to see who you picked, so I can pick on you. Let's see.
I know I got Dalvin Cook, who was really good. So my first round pick at least didn't.
So the draft in that order, I'll just read it. It was 12-team league, by the way, too. That's what makes it even crazier. Christian McCaffrey went first, obviously. And number 2, another laughable pick. I don't care. Still laughable. I laughed at everybody that did it this year, and I have heard of no one that won their league with Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson at number 2. Derrick Henry 3. Shaq Barkley 4th, which that sucked. And I took Zeke 5. You're Retribution, right? Is that you?
No, I'm Matt. That's you.
No, you wouldn't be Retribution. You don't watch WWE. Dalvin Cook is 8. So yeah, you got him at 8, and then which I would have taken. Yeah, I got him at 7 in my other league. So, and I was actually laughed at for taking him at 7 in a 10-team league.
I mean, like, he's just really good. The only thing you don't worry about is him getting hurt.
Well, right, but by that statement, wouldn't you be like, what does that make you want to lick your chops? You're like, okay, I'm in the good league. I'm in the league where I'm going to destroy them.
Yeah, but then I took Miles Sanders in my 2nd round pick and fucked it all up. So.
Yeah, okay, now look at it. Yeah, I had Josh Jacobs 8. You could have had Josh Jacobs.
I could have, man. I really liked Miles Sanders.
I was huge on Josh Jacobs. I would have picked. Honestly, I'd pick Josh Jacobs in the 1st round if I had to, but obviously, I'm not going to take him over someone that I can get in the 1st round. But
Randy, to answer your question, I really, really hope the Saints make it to the Super Bowl. I'm not going to be super bold or anything right now because the Saints have terrible playoff luck. So I'm not going to say anything because Mitchell Trubisky could go out there and toast us, and we're just done. But I really hope they are because our Super Bowl window is about to close.
Well, yeah, that's going to close, yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Ryan, that's good. Yeah, Jefferson was unreal. Like, I normally don't like doing this, and honestly, in fantasy lately, it hasn't been the case. Maybe Matt, you can disagree with me or agree with me, but like, I started Thielen and Jefferson towards the end of that league because it's like. They both were going to get at least 15 points, and like you knew that was almost guaranteed. Like, how do you bench one of them?
Yeah.
And so it's like I had to start both of them, and then if Terry hadn't gotten hurt or somebody like hurt, like I had Diggs as well, and Diggs was going off. I'm like, I can't bench Diggs. Like it was very hard when you had. I mean, it's like at that point you can't trade, and I've never been big on trades. I don't know about you, Matt, but it's just hard for me to do a trade.
You can screw yourself with a trade, and you can absolutely win with a trade. Like I did a dynasty trade earlier this year where because I was trying to tank in one league, and I did so many trades. I did one trade where I traded Leonard Fournette and Aaron Rodgers for Antonio Gibson, and that's looking like a great.
Oh yeah, that is a great. Yeah, that looks amazing.
Yeah. Like I'm hype about having Antonio Gibson.
Yeah, you didn't do bad. We played in the first. No, we didn't. You played in the first round. You made the playoffs, is what I was trying to get.
Yeah, I squeaked in there, even though
Dangerous Russ. You remember that? Who's Dangerous Russ?
That's Dangerous.
Alex. Oh, Alex. Duh. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought his name would have been A. Larson, 12th man, but it wasn't.
Well, it's funny that like there's people in that league I have no clue who they are, but everybody that made the playoffs, I know who they are. Except for I don't think I know who G Money is. Who's G Money?
I have no idea.
Yeah, that's the only one I don't know technically. So I guess I just ate my words, but yeah, it's funny. Me and Ross is in here. I beat him by 7. I'm 99-92. We would get crushed by you or Alex in the first round, and then I score 160 and then 183.
That's how it goes some weeks.
It's crazy. You just gotta win. Like, dude, another league where I was the runner up in a sense. Or not the runner up, the defending champ. Sorry, in Matt's league, right? That league, I've never seen a tighter playoff race in the history of fantasy football. Literally, all right, so let me look at the final standings of that league, or the actual standings. I'm looking at the wrong thing. I missed the playoffs basically on 15 points of 4. Matt ended up winning the whole league, so congrats to Matt. But I literally didn't make the playoffs, and I was in the number 2 seed spot going into the final week. And I did make the playoffs. So it was insane. I was trying to look at what the actual standings, but I can't find them apparently. But it was crazy. But anyways, we can go back to Pokemon cards.
That's why this is called the Nightmare Collection and not opening Pokemon cards and talking about them because you never know what we're talking about.
You never know what we might talk about. Exactly.
If you know Phil, anything's possible.
anything is possible in the year of the nightmare, as they say.
Shout out to Kevin Garnett.
Anything is possible.
Shout out to my buddy, one of the biggest Celtics fans I know.
Yeah, Matt, I don't know if you're going to be on the podcast this week or not, but you're not going to like my bold prediction that I have.
Man.
Yeah, you're not going to like it.
Give us a hint.
Saints.
Give us a hint.
It involves, it's a Super Bowl. The prediction is a Super Bowl prediction, and it's what I have going in, and I'm sticking to it and riding into it until it doesn't happen.
Give us a hint.
A hint? How can I hint at the Super Bowl? It's not the favorites. All right, so there's a hint. It is not the favorites, which would be the Chiefs and the Packers, I guess, right?
So the
if
Bills,
I had to guess at it, no, I'm not going to guess because I'm probably going to guess.
All right, well, I'll give a Nightmare Collection exclusive, okay? Because there are people that listen to the podcast.
3 viewers.
Yeah, right. So you're getting exclusive. Randy, act like you didn't hear this, right? Don't tell Griff because I don't want Griff to think that, well, if he's on here now. Hey, Griff. My bold prediction, and this maybe isn't that bold because these teams don't suck. Obviously, they made the playoffs. My bold prediction.
If you want, you can text it to me and I'll say it.
It's the Bills versus the Bucks in the Super Bowl.
Of course, it'll be the Bucks.
He said, as Ross types, it better not have the Bucks. Answer me or not, Matt. Okay, Matt. Maybe you can't answer this because you're just as biased as I am. But so that's a different. But here's the thing: who are the 2 hottest teams going into the playoffs?
The Packers, the Chiefs.
The Packers are one of them. The Chiefs aren't hot. You can't say the Chiefs are hot.
Calm down.
The Packers, I agree with. The Packers are one. That is one of them. The Bills, who are extremely hot, and the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
I would argue that those are the 3 hottest teams going in.
I'd be happy.
Ravens as well are also hot. But go ahead, Matt.
It's hard to beat a team 3 times, but I'd be kind of happy if the Saints had to play the Bucks because I think we match up with them really well.
I think you guys do too. Here's the thing, though. As I say my prediction, Chase Young is going to be hungry.
I have a lot of his rookies.
He's going to be hungry.
The Bucks offensive line can be suspect too at the middle of the road.
And you're talking about Chase Young, who's like a monster, like a literal football monster.
The only thing is, I don't know if I trust that Washington offense to.
Right. But here's the thing, Matt. If anybody's gonna pull an upset, wouldn't it be the Washington team that has had so much go against them? Alex Smith is obviously running away with comeback player of the year, right? I would think so.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess you could give it to Gronk, but whatever. He didn't come back from anything. He came back from WWE 24/7 champion. That's true. Oh man, but yeah, I don't know, man. That's just my bold prediction, and I'll talk about it more on the show. But I'm telling you, man, it would be. I think if the Bucks win, it would be. They wouldn't. The Bucks are what, the 6th seed?
Yes.
So they would actually.
Oh, the 5th seed.
No, they're the 5th seed. They're the. I'll have to look. But if they're the 6th seed, it probably means they're gonna face the Packers probably. It's weird this year because there's only one bye, so it confuses me. But if Washington wins, that guarantee Washington is Washington's the 4th seed because they won their damn division. Never mind. They should reseed for the playoffs.
I want to point this out. Of course, the first year that there's only one bye, the Saints would get the number 2 seed. Of course. The Saints are the absolute kings of being 13-3 or 12-4 or something like that and not getting a bye. They're the kings of it. And it makes me so mad.
I'll say this, Matt. I think you guys are fine unless you go to Green Bay. That's where
I think Phil, I think you're forgetting about two things going into this weekend. The Saints are playing the Bears. That's a very hot team coming off of a great loss, so they want vengeance for that. Mitch is playing for his life. It's the Nickelodeon game. That's a big deal. So,
is there going to be slime? Is Drew Brees going to get slimed?
and here's the other thing. All due respect to Matt Beast, Drew Brees stinks.
What?
Especially.
What are you talking about?
I like Drew Brees, Matt Peace, but this year the
my
total 3 games that I've seen of Drew Brees this year.
Drew Brees is my third greatest.
Jameis Winston.
Third. Is he second? Yeah, he's my second favorite quarterback.
Which games did you see of Drew Brees?
I think didn't we play you guys?
Yeah, they played. We played the Packers. I think that was a game we played pretty well. We just had a bad game against the Raiders the week before, and we came back and actually had a good game. It's just the Packers played better that night.
See, here's the thing. Because if the Bears beat the Saints, wouldn't they play the Packers in the next round?
Here's the thing. Can I rant on something about your daggum Packers, okay?
Go ahead.
People love to hate, right? They love to hate winners, right? They love to hate Tom Brady. The real damn heel is Aaron freaking Rodgers. He is such a dick. He is such a dick.
Disagree.
He is such a dick. He's an actual dick. Like I don't know if you've ever watched him on great podcast, by the way. I don't care what people think about him. Pat McAfee, Aaron Rodgers thinks he's and he knows it. I mean, he's great. I'm not taking that away from him.
Mm-hmm.
But his hand's kind of light, Piwko. His one finger. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers is kind of light. Tom Brady would have to hey, can you hold something for me? And Drew Brees is going to end his career possibly with one more than Rodgers.
I hope so.
That Aaron Rodgers is the only thing on that team. And Devontae Adams. But no. That team ain't winning the Super Bowl. Get out of here.
All I'm saying is
they got humiliated by the Bucs. Humiliated.
That was earlier on.
Oh wait, what was this? Look at this. Yeah, we looked at that Aaron Rodgers. We looked at it, took a giant L. We took a giant L.
I will say, if the Bucs end up losing at any point during the playoffs, even if the Saints lose to someone else besides the Bucs, the amount of shit I'm going to talk is going to be off the charts.
And you should.
It's going to be off the charts.
The Bucs have had it's been a crazy year in general. But the Bucs looked like they were going to be oh, and then they're the Bucs can't even beat the damn Bears. And then it was and it's
yeah. Where's that picture of Brady with the?
Oh, he's fourth down. Up and down. He knew what down it was. Okay, and Brady doesn't lie.
Brady's old.
Brady doesn't lie.
I mean, Brady's either going to lose in the first week. He's either going to lose this week, or he's going to win the whole thing. So
that's what you think?
Yeah, it's Tom Brady. Okay,
That is true.
I don't know if you know this, but,
but
Dave Portnoy has a deal with the devil, and the Patriots aren't in it this year, which means that Tom Brady is going to win it all. So
against the Bills, and it's going to be sweet victory. The only thing I won't be able to celebrate is the fact that it will be the 7th championship for the Patriots.
The only way I want Tom Brady to win another Super Bowl ring is if it's not in the NFC South.
Well, unfortunately, the only way that was going to happen is if the Bucs somehow missed the playoffs.
Yeah, and I mean,
imagine. Do you think the Bucs trade Tom Brady if they miss the playoffs?
No,
I don't think so either. But I'm just saying.
Imagine a world where Drew Brees retired. Tom Brady would have went to the Saints.
Oh, he would have. The Saints. The Saints still called him. Right?
Yeah.
They still were going to go after Brady, and I don't know what they were going to do with Brees, but
because Brady was waiting on it, and honestly, I don't know how good that would have turned out. Honestly, because I mean,
I think it turns out. Honestly, you want to know my honest opinion? I think as a team, not what he has as far as weapons. Of course, that the Bucs was loaded, right? Mm-hmm. I think as a team, he does better on New Orleans. That defense is way better than the Bucs defense, in my opinion.
Yeah, but also think about this. Look at the weapons he had this year versus the weapons he would have had on the Saints. The Saints, Michael Thomas played maybe 16 quarters of football the whole year. And he is...
boy, Jared Cook.
I mean, Jared Cook, he has ebbs and flows. Right now, he seems like he's on a hot streak, which is good. Going into the playoffs.
I think Jared Cook, honestly, Matt, Jared Cook is what tight ends were before tight ends became what they are now. You know what I'm saying? Like he's the epitome of an actual average tight end that used to be in the league, and now that you have your Gronks, your Kelseys, your Kittles, and now you can, yeah, we're talking football. Ethan, we're talking about your Bucks, and we talk about the Saints as well.
And the former Jimmy Graham.
Jimmy Graham, yep. That's a good one.
I remember that year when Gronk and Jimmy Graham were going head to head for like the best tight end in the league.
And it's crazy. And he dropped off the face of the earth.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't know what happened. Does anybody actually know what happened to Jimmy Graham?
Well, he got traded to Seattle,
and he died.
And he died off because Seattle at the time, Russell Wilson wasn't.
They didn't really need him, did they?
Russell Wilson wasn't really the Russell Wilson he is now.
Right.
They were a run-first heavy team, and Russell Wilson just hasn't been huge on throwing at tight ends anyways.
Yeah, that never made sense to me. That trade never made sense to me.
And, I mean, we ended up getting a first-round pick, which ended up being Stephon Anthony, so bust. And I think there was Stephon Anthony. I'll have to double-check and see who that was.
Ethan, I'm going with the Bucks, by the way. I'm going with the Bucks to win, but Washington Chase Young scares me.
Washington.
Yeah. Washington football team.
They're not gonna win in this year.
You're Super Bowl champions, the Washington football team.
If they come out the week before the Super Bowl and they're like, we have a name, here it is, we're going to the Super Bowl, then I'd be afraid. Like if they come out this week and they say that like we have a team and this is like a team name, I'm a little worried about Washington.
Washington has pieces. The pieces are there.
At what point?
I'm not sure what the Washington weakness would be, Matt. I'm not sure what that is, but
at what point if they win this,
like secondary, maybe? Their offense has got the keys. Their offense has the keys. I mean, obviously, quarterback could be better.
At what point, if they win the Super Bowl, do they just keep the name?
I think if they won, I think honestly, they're now that they made the playoffs, they're riding it out until they lose. Then the offseason, if they lost to the Bucks by like 30, I think they would probably change their name. But if they got to the Super Bowl, I don't think that they needed to win it. I think that name's staying. Yeah, I know. Imagine a team with no name winning the Super Bowl. That would be nuts. Absolutely nuts. All right, back to Pokemon cards. But yeah, I can talk football. I mean, all three of us can, obviously, but I'll try to get more out of my binder here. So then I can actually show my collection, and I will show it. I promise this time I will.
Did you end up finding any other crazy cards?
I honestly don't know, to be honest. So would it have to say first edition for it to be like the actual first Squirtle card, or the first like Pikachu card? Would it have to say first edition?
Yes, if it's a that'd be the more value cards for sure.
So this is not so this would not be worth anything. Just a regular Squirtle.
No, yeah. I mean, it's not going to be crazy, but I think all the first not the first edition, but all the original base set cards are eventually going to get some higher than in the 50 range or plus.
I don't know what movie this one was from, but I got this. I'm gonna sleeve that up just because it's Pikachu.
It has a stamp there. Yep. Normally the stamp kind of tells you what movie it's
I've seen that. I forgot.
Pokemon the first movie. I forgot.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen that one before.
That's what it was called.
Ross is wondering if you have any Shadowless cards. A Shadowless card, pretty much, it has a lighter border on the cards. It was more of the it's one of the more rarer base set cards. You'd
have to show me a picture. I wouldn't even know what it looks like, Ross. But I will get on that as soon as I know.
Yeah, you'd have to just look up about Shadowless cards to try and decipher them. I've never actually seen one, so.
Let's talk about how USA and Canada are playing each other in a little while.
So I have these two as well. To finish the dark set out, I have these.
Dark Claim and Dark Golduck.
Yep, and then I have one more. I have Dark Dragon.
Dragonair.
Yeah, Dark Dragonair. So I'm going to put those in sleeves. I also have this set, which is probably not worth anything. Do you remember this?
The top set. Man, I got some of those cards.
Yep.
One was the other day.
I literally have every last one of them.
Dude, those might
nice.
be something. They're not going to be crazy, but I feel like they could be something because it's tops. It's not actually like
Oh, it is tops, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is tops.
So what are you doing? What are you guys doing with all your like bulk Pokemon cards right now?
Throw in a box.
I'm putting them all in the same box, and I haven't gone through them yet. This is like to see what I need to do.
I'm putting them in a box, and eventually, whenever I feel like dealing with them, I'm going to send them off to a shop for bulk money.
Do you get like Do they? Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Randy, are you still in here? Randy was talking about Star Wars cards, right? I have this set back in the day was like very, very popular. So I want to look these up. I've been wanting to look these
in
up.
Pages.
What now?
Ross was just saying he tries to put them in pages.
This Star Wars set. Anybody remember that?
I've seen that one before. Look at that design.
Yep.
I don't know about the back, but I remember seeing like the front somewhere.
Yep. It's a game, actually, technically.
Yeah, that's like the raw deal.
Yeah. I'm not sure if it's worth anything, but I remember going to a card shop, or not a shop. It was like a bookstore in the mall, and that place was the place to be to buy the cards. Like when I was a kid, anyways. My dad would take me in there and buy a pack here and there. It's crazy now. Like if I could talk about, I was like, oh, just wait till you get older. You're gonna be nuts into cards. You think you like cards now?
Oh yeah, he was right.
Just hold on, kid.
He was right.
What?
For the longest time, I didn't think I was going to get back into cards. Like I would hear you guys talk about them all the time, and I'd be like, man, I don't care. And now, like all of a sudden, Pokemon's just taking over my life again.
And I remember hearing so. I had thought about like I think I showed you like I bought this random pack one day and I'm like it didn't hit. I'm like whatever. Yeah. But like once you know your friends that you already trust their opinion on stuff, and then you watch their videos, and then you're like, so I was already watching yours, and I'm like, Matt's gonna get me to buff freaking Pokemon. I know it. And then Alex broke Pokemon, and I said, oh, it's over. It's over. I was like, I know Alex will make me buy Pokemon whether I want to or not. Oh, that's sick. I love it. Oh, that is sick.
I'm still working on some, but I put like the little like the e-sports, like how it's like two different colors.
Literally the best. I'm telling you, this is gonna be the year of the Nytemare. I want a T-shirt that looks like that. That's sick.
Wow, that is awesome.
Camera potential shirts idea one down the road, but
I might add in something else.
Matt, also
Piwko the goat.
The goat, Matt. Also, me and you need to collab and on Twitch. We need to Twitch.
Twitch.
You stop twitching. You stop twitching. You gotta start twitching again.
It's funny you mentioned that.
Go ahead, Piwko.
I was thinking about getting an Elgato that works with Matt.
So here's the thing. Well, I bought one, but I bought one. I didn't buy the one. I think Matt was the one I talked to about. But I bought. I think there's one with an S or whatever. Matt, you told me or something.
HD60S.
I'm gonna get
the one without the S. We sell at Target, right? It's like $170. I bought that one.
Mm-hmm.
But it does not work with the MacBook Air.
Get the plus. Gotta get the plus.
The what?
S plus. I saw it on a video today.
Plus. Okay.
Oh, okay. So I have to get the S plus. Okay. It worked. Like I could pull it up. I could work. It would actually work. The problem, and Pigo's frozen. It would work. The only problem is that I could only stream the Switch. So if I stream Fortnite, it looked weird. Anything else on the PS4 couldn't do it. So I was like,
all you need is the Switch.
I know. Which, by the way, we got to talk about the other day. I'm going to get back into Pokemon on there, and hopefully, I'm going to play Let's Go Pikachu for now and see if I can get back into it that way. But I think does that one have new Pokemon or only old Pokemon? I can't remember.
Let's Go Pikachu only has the original Kanto Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
You can get some of the Alolan forms as well, but.
Thank you, Piwko. I think that's the one I have saved.
And Phil, you can on Let's Go Pikachu, if you have Pokemon Go still, you could send stuff over.
That's what it was.
Pokemon Go.
I think I deleted Pokemon Go though. But
Piwko,
you made that face like, I think to answer Ethan's question, Ethan asked me what kind of music I listen to. Literally everything. Check my Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. I shared my top songs from 2019 and my top songs from 2020. So Well, top 5.
Let's talk about the Nintendo Switch.
Whoa, man. Whoa.
I have a problem.
These are my games, and one of them is in the system.
So Matt,
Mm-hmm.
here's a question for you.
Okay.
Have you seen? Are you on Facebook? I can't remember if you're on Facebook or not.
Yeah.
I'll kill anybody. But anyways, what I'm saying is, it's where I saw it, so that's why I said. So someone made a wooden, made a display, right, like this, to put on a kid's wall, and it's massive, by the way. The TV goes in between it, and it literally is looks like this on their wall. I
think I saw that on Reddit before.
That is so
really
cool.
Crazy.
I'm I wish I knew someone that could make that. Because can you imagine that having Ethan? I know Ethan would love that as a kid.
Oh yeah, for sure. It'd be crazy.
Matt Beast.
Mm-hmm.
So I was looking for a Pikachu tail for something I was working on today, and I saw that there's the Mandela effect with the fact that some people are saying that Pikachu has a black spot on his tail. What do you think?
Let me look into this.
Yeah, I honestly I remember both.
That was active 2 minutes ago, is what it says.
Because back in the day, I remember it with the black mark, but now on Pokemon Go, it doesn't have the black mark. So I'm
How's that mystery dungeon game, Matt?
It's very different than traditional Pokemon. It's more of a kind of a dungeon crawler type of game. I would say probably not buy it, honestly.
Right. Yeah.
If I unless you're just really crazy and playing every Pokemon game, probably don't buy it.
So Nintendo hasn't released the old Pokemon on here yet, have they?
No, they have not.
That's got to happen soon, right?
I would look out for sometime this year, because this year is Pokemon's 25th anniversary. I'm expecting some big things to happen this year.
Dude, if I can get
we already got the new Pokemon Snap coming out.
Oh, that's right. Yep. Are they doing Stadium again, or are they not? That was fun.
That's probably not going to happen.
Not going to happen. Okay.
If I can get Leaf Green and Fire Red and Emerald and all those games on the Switch.
I feel like they're. You know what I feel like they're going to do, Matt? I feel like they're going to do, and Piwko. I feel like they're going to do the the Mario Odyssey, not Odyssey, Mario the 3-pack or whatever. You have it, I'm sure. I got it for my sister for Christmas. She's loving it. But yeah. So shout out to my sister Ashley. But yeah. So I think they're gonna do that. I think I don't. What would you do? You know more about this, but I would think maybe if you're gonna do retro, would you do red, blue, and yellow?
No,
because red and blue is kind of the same in a sense, right?
The way with Pokemon though, they're never. I don't think they're ever going to do a 3-pack kind of deal with any game, because they see money.
Right. So
and
they're gonna re-release it. Each game re-released is what you're saying.
And you get dumb people like me
that will buy it.
that will buy it, because on the 3DS right now, you can buy the original Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, Gold, Silver, Crystal, and of course I bought them all $10 a piece.
Wow.
So yeah, that's how it is, because they will do it because people like me will buy it.
And if there's a market out there, guess what they're gonna do?
They're gonna put it out. And
you're exactly right. We talked about that a little bit the other day.
Yeah.
I love this, Matt. Go ahead and finish what you're saying. But I want to do this real quick. So go ahead. We're going to do this real quick. Randy started it. Randy loves asking questions. Okay. This is going to be on the spot, and we're going to limit it to 5 if you can come up with it quickly, right? So we're going to go through each system. If you haven't played the system, you can bow out. That's fine. So we're going to do favorite. We're going to start with Randy's, right? So favorite Game Boy. This does not count Game Boy Advance.
Oh.
Only Game Boy. Your favorite Game Boy games, right? So I'm going to go with, and there's because just got an idea, I think. So we'll wait on him. But so think of your 5. I thought of them the other day. I got to look. Actually, you can literally Google top 5, top games. Yes, Piwko's showing his favorite games. We won't have to. Let's not even necessarily do it in order if we have to, but just name some of your favorites. And just like don't go over 5 in a sense. So I'll name one, and then we'll go to Matt, and then we'll go to Piwko, and we'll go kind of like that. Obviously, it's Pokemon that he's showing, right? So obviously, Pokemon Yellow. That's an obvious one for me. So Matt, go ahead.
I'm just gonna backpack off of you, but I'm just gonna say Pokemon Red.
Pokemon Red, right? Okay.
Wait,
And Ethan, we'll get to your systems as well.
this one.
Pokemon Green.
I probably have like
When did that come out?
2004,
That's the Game Boy Advance one.
2004.
Is that Game Boy Advance? Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I said no Advance, but okay. Well,
I probably have a year's worth of game time like played in this.
oh, it's crazy. All right, so my next one would be, I think it's called, let me make sure I don't butcher the name, but it's the Super Mario Land. I played that all the time.
Now I didn't play much Game Boy games, so it's just gonna be filled with Pokemon. Pokemon Gold.
All right, Piwko, you got it. Obviously.
Other than the Pokemon games, like there's like a few, like there was like a SpongeBob game I used to play. There was like a Rocket League game, a Rocket Power game I used to play. I would need to like go in my basement and get like my bag full of all the games to like tell you which ones are my favorite, other than the Pokemon games.
Right. So I just typed in top Game Boy games the other day, and this is when I remember the games that I played. Well, except for certain ones. So the other one that I played all the time was Kirby's Dream Land. That game was so much fun.
Kirby's Dream Land. Kirby's the OG, man.
Yeah, and so I actually just downloaded the free game. I don't know if you've played that on the Switch. Is that any good?
I don't think so.
It's not any good. Okay. Well, anyways, it's free, so I downloaded it. And then lastly, I would say that makes that obviously Pokemon Yellow is on. Actually, I don't think I played Red and Blue, but I never owned them. But the other game would be probably Donkey Kong on Game Boy. Then I'm talking original Game Boy, and I'm obviously the oldest one in here. But that game, the game I just talked about, came out in '94. So Donkey Kong. So
yeah, as far as Game Boy, I have to bow out now. That's
So that's it for me for Game Boy. We'll stop there and we can move on to the next one. But let me catch up with the chat. Cody, I'll answer your question after we talk about the video game stuff. If you're gonna leave, let me know. I'm not gonna answer it right away. But Ross said, "I love playing Super Mario Land." And 6 golden coins. Is that the name of the whole thing? I guess I don't know. I don't think I ever played the sequel. Yeah, it says right there. Mario 2. The first one came out in '89, so I was 1 when it technically came out, but that was literally the game I got with my Game Boy. All right, so I guess next would be regular Nintendo. Wait.
If we're doing NES, SNES, I gotta bow out of that too. I never.
You didn't have a Super Nintendo either?
No, I didn't have Super Nintendo.
Oh, Matt, you're killing me. Okay, well, since you didn't have original Nintendo, we'll skip original Nintendo, but we are going to talk about Super Nintendo because there are so many classics. And number one is not even a question. Number one is by far Mario Kart. That's the OG Mario Kart. I played that like literally hours on the hours and the days that I played that. So that's obviously my favorite Super Nintendo game. I guess I don't know if Mike, did you play any, or else I'll just keep talking about this? You didn't. Okay, I know I'm aging myself. I could tell you some Nintendo games as well as original PlayStation games as well. So anyways, oh sorry guys, that's a text, and now I'm getting distracted. All right, no, so for Super Nintendo games, definitely Mario Kart, Donkey Kong Country. I spent hours and hours of frustration on that game, but it was great. That came out in '94 for anyone that would know. I also played, I think I played Super Metroid. I'm not positive if that's the one I played or if I played a different one. Another game, let's see, what is it? Super Mario Land, obviously. Super Mario World, sorry, was another one. Donkey Kong Country 2 as well. Diddy Kong's Quest. Another game I played that no one's going to know what this is, but Pilot Wings, that's a freaking hard game. They actually have that on the Nintendo Switch now. If you don't know this, I need to look there. That's what I should do. I forgot they had that on here. Let me look at that real quick, see what games they have on there. In case someone, wants to play the classics. But if you don't know, you can see that right there. You get it for free. And I just had Animal Crossing.
It comes with Nintendo Switch Online, so not technically free. But
sorry. Technically, it's not free. Yeah, Fortnite, Fortnite counts. Fortnite counts, Ethan, when we get to that. If we get to that. We should get to that, though. But yeah, so Oh, they do. They must have added some more. They have Donkey Kong Country. I know what I'm playing.
Yep.
I know what I'm playing later. That game will bring so many memories. But yeah, that's on there. A lot of people like Punch Out. I didn't play Star Fox back then. I didn't play that. I think I played some Kirby games, but I don't remember owning. But there's Pilot Wings right there. If you have a Switch, I suggest playing that game, and then you can text me that you hate me later because it's very hard, or it used to be. And that's pretty much all. They pretty much have the classics on here. Zelda, I've never played that, I don't think, yet. So, Joe, what's up, man? What's up, Joe from Motor City Marks is in the building. Sean was here last. We have 9 viewers right now, guys. People are loving the night.
I got a shout out. I got a shout out Joe for a second, because I was like scrolling through the gram, if you will, as they call it. Okay, this might be like one of my favorite cards I've ever seen. Like it's hard to see the Prism Cracked Ice Red of Tom Brady on the Bucks.
I mean, wow, that's
talk about a sweet looking card. Like I'm sure in person it looks even better, but like that's I like when things coordinate like that. Like when you get the team logos and stuff.
When you talk about Nintendo 64.
All right, so now we are on Nintendo 64, and since I did a lot of talking about Super Nintendo, I'll let Matt go ahead and say all his favorites now.
Okay, so the Nintendo 64 was my very first home console. I got it for Christmas when I was like 4 or 5. I was the most hyped little kid on earth. But some of the best games on N64 to me, of course, you got to mention Super Mario 64. Funny enough, I never actually owned the game. I only played it at my cousin's house. I don't know why I never owned it.
I never owned it either. I never owned it. Yep, I borrowed it.
I never owned a Nintendo 64, but my cousin had like the Pikachu one, and we always used to play it every time I went to her house.
Super Mario 64, classic game. Brandon, I never played Superman 64, but I heard it is trash. I heard that game is trash for some reason. I don't know why.
64.
It's pretty much a Superman game on Nintendo 64 because for some reason all the video game companies said, "Hey, I'm going to name my title 64 behind it."
Right. Here's a question, Matt, before you finish your favorites and maybe some gems that people might not know about. I heard rumors that they were going to. I know I paused there. I heard rumors they were going to do the 64.
Is it Brandon?
The 64 on this. Yes, Brandon.
I want a 64 like the classic like console.
Well, they were going to do classic, but they scratched that last I heard, and they were going to add it to this. So I don't know if you've heard that.
I like the controller, though. I like the controller.
I've heard rumors about it for so long. I hope it happens, but
it's one of those things you don't believe until you actually see it. Like that's how I feel.
For sure.
Because that's the console. You want to talk about people dying over the PS5? I don't think that one's going to stay in stores like at all. If they did that, or if they did it on the Switch online.
What are you talking about?
To get back onto the Nintendo 64 hype train, the next game I got to talk about is Kirby 64: The Crystal Shards. This is the GOAT Kirby game. It lets you combine the powers, and it was so fun because you could be this gigantic rock Kirby and just smash over the entire level and just speed run the game. Another game I never owned, but I rented it constantly.
Game. What's that game? Because I might have to play. I think that's one I actually have never played.
Kirby 64: The Crystal Shards. It's a really fun Kirby game. Probably the most fun Kirby game.
It's definitely one I've never played, so I will have to add that to the potential collection thing.
Oh yeah, it's.
Hey,
really
Brandon, I see you're on. If you want to add, let me know. I'll send you the link if you want to get on. Probably only gonna be on for another 30 minutes or so, but yeah.
Another one I really liked, of course, the original Super Smash Bros. The thing that started it off. I've owned every single Super Smash Bros. Except the Wii U version because no one had a Wii U.
Did you have a Wii U?
No, I did not have a Wii U.
Okay, you said that. I assumed you didn't have one.
Didn't have a Wii U. I did not. And then I'm also going to shout out. I know a lot of people are going to say Ocarina of Time. I'm going to say Majora's Mask because it was different and it was crazy. And I remember having a book with my cousin where we would write out all the different stuff of Majora's Mask that you had to remember to progress certain plot lines of the story because you had to go back in time constantly. And the last one I'll mention is Donkey Kong 64. Very fun adventure type game.
Yeah. So Pingo, you can go second if you would like, but did you play a lot of 64 games or no? You did. Okay, so I can go in. So Matt mentioned some classics. Well, I'll say I guess I'll answer on him first. one of the things he said. Ocarina of Time, I don't care what anyone says. It's one of the reasons why I'm scared to play Breath of the Wild, which I know Matt's going to throw something at me because it's arguably one of the greatest games of all time. I will play it. I bought it and then resold it, so now I got to buy it back, but because I never played it. But Ocarina of Time is the GOAT Zelda game. I don't care what anyone says. I've never played all of them. And so he's showing you the GOAT one, I guess. The actual GOAT one. I'm not the one to ask because I'm not, obviously, that's the only Zelda game I ever played. And I honestly don't remember a lot from it. But I hear that Breath of the Wild is very close to that. Is that true?
Breath of the Wild is very different. I've seen a lot of people that are like true hardcore Zelda fans say like, oh, they don't like Breath of the Wild because it's so different from what a normal Zelda game is. For me, that's one of my favorite games of all time.
It's very open world, right? Which Zelda really isn't open world.
Yeah, it's so open world. You can actually go and fight the final boss right from the get-go if you want to.
Wow.
It's because I've seen people beat the game in 5 minutes, and it's really hard to do because you have to progress through the story and get stronger in order to actually finally beat the guy. And trust me, you want to explore the world because there's so much to explore and there's so much you can do in that game, and people are still testing it to this day, and it's just a fantastic game. One of the best games of this generation. And
I would say too, like that's probably a game that when I get it or when I finally I've gotten it before, but when I finally actually play it, I want to stream that game because I feel because I let all the Zelda marks tell me what I'm doing wrong.
That's so good.
All right, so games for 64 that you did not mention. Obviously, Mario 64, which I never owned either. Mario Kart 64 is also an amazing game, but it's not, Super Nintendo. That game will always be OG. OG. I guess OG is what I'm looking for. But the 164 game, Matt, that you didn't mention, which maybe you were saving it for me, is the greatest game of all time, period. Period, shut case. GoldenEye 64.
I know you're going to say that.
GoldenEye is the GOAT game, and I know that, I thought that before people really were on that, right? Which everybody's always loved GoldenEye. But I literally bought those stupid remake on. I said stupid, but I never played enough of it. The stupid Wii. I returned the game because I didn't play it. I still have the Wii, the Wii Gold controller that came with that game. That's how. I remember with the Wii version, obviously, but because I still love GoldenEye, why that game has not been re-released is beyond me. It must be some kind of rights to it or something. That game would sell out in minutes.
Well,
go ahead.
I mean, when you think of it, there's a whole bunch of licenses with that game. I'm pretty sure it was Rare that developed the game. I'm not sure off the top of my head if it was. I want to say it's Rare because most of the games it was developed by Rare. Most of the games back then were developed by Rare.
Right.
It's a Rare license, which is hard to get a hold of. Microsoft owns Rare right now.
But they did Rare Replay though. Why wasn't it part of Rare Replay?
Well, because movie licenses too, because 007. And I will say that 007, it pretty much brought in this whole genre of people loving first-person shooters because you could play it with your friends. You could play it on the 4-person screen. My cousin and his friends, that was their religion at the time.
Oh, that's what we did. Yeah.
That was their religion. Me, myself, I've never been in those shooter games. It's just not me. I've tried on multiple occasions. It's just not going to happen. And I mean, I got to give it credit for doing what it did.
I will say this, and maybe people can argue against this, but I won't. I'm going to say this. There is no Fortnite without GoldenEye. There is no Fortnite without GoldenEye.
Oh yeah, no Fortnite, no Call of Duty, none of that.
Yeah, we'll Call of Duty too. GoldenEye's OG, and I agree with Brandon. It probably doesn't hold up. I haven't played it because I refuse to play it unless they re-release it. Obviously, I still have it, but I just that nostalgia, Halo as well. Yeah, Halo is another one that wouldn't be a thing, and we'll get to those in a minute. But so that game of course. There's no Halo. Yeah, no Halo without GoldenEye. So GoldenEye is the OG. And honestly, sometimes because we're in the era of we're gonna bring back everything that used to be great because we can't create new things. Maybe that's one that is good. They don't touch, right? Maybe GoldenEye is a good one that they don't touch.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that logo, man.
That is sick.
That is so sick, dude. Piwko is the man. Shout out to We the Piwko. He needs his own website, dadgummit.
I do. It's my name.
Huh?
It's my name, MikePiwko.com.
Oh, you still have it? Okay, gotcha.
The Pikachu, though.
Fortnite was not the first online battle royale, by the way.
Phil, the Pikachu tail, though. No respect for the Pikachu tail.
That is so sick. Because he asked me what my favorite Pokemon was, and I'm like, it's Pikachu. I mean, I
was gonna do the Pikachu tail anyway, but yeah.
But anyway, so to go back, Perfect Dark. The fact that they're making a new Perfect Dark game, I marked out for that. Even though I didn't play a lot, I don't remember a lot from that game, but I do remember playing that for 64. So that I'm loving that Xbox is doing that. Other than that, Banjo-Kazooie. Ross talked about it. That's the only game so far that I know of from 64 that I rebought on a new system and replayed. That game is it's so much you can do, and there's so much nostalgia in that game for me. Banjo-Tooie is also good, not as good, but it's good. It's amazing. But I'll still probably re-download that again on my Xbox and play it again. And then also Star Fox 64. I played so much of that. So much of Star Fox 64. And then we talked about it earlier, Pokemon Snap. I didn't do a lot of Pokemon Snap. But Pokemon Stadium, I played so much of that. Like, for those that don't know, that was literally you pop the like Pokemon out, and you got to live fight Pokemon like in front of you. Like, it was like Stadium, you're fighting Pokemon. That was what you got to do. And that's, to me, like, I'm like if you play Pokemon Yellow and then you play Pokemon Stadium, you're like, oh my God, like, what the like, this is real life. The era of the Game Shark. Yeah. He's right. Good shout out for Brandon on that.
Which console should we jump to next, by the way?
Yeah, that's true. I'll let you guys decide that. But one more thing, obviously, Smash Brothers. That I was so into Smash Brothers, and I didn't even know what competitive was when I was into Smash Brothers. What it is now, it amazes me because I'd play that game nonstop with friends. I love that game. That is definitely one of my top 64 games. And then another one, just to throw one out there real quick, that people may not know. And I actually remember not finishing this game because I guess I just was a dumb kid and didn't know how to finish it. But Jet Force Gemini. Jet Force Gemini is a gem that I had to, like, I would say that you need to look up and try to play as well. And then of course wrestling games. Someone said it, but WCW NWO Revenge was one of my favorite games of all time as well. I can keep going on 64. 1080 is a snowboarding game. Star Wars Episode 1 Pod Racers was a good game that I played. I don't know if it was technically good, but yeah.
I don't know how much of the GameCube y'all played. Did y'all play a lot of the GameCube?
So GameCube, you can go ahead, Mike. Matt, if you want to talk about GameCube, because I did not play the GameCube much.
Like the GameCube,
not on one either. So
the GameCube, pretty much, it's a very underrated console, and I feel like a lot of people feel that way. Smash Bros. Melee, one of the best. I'm not a fighting game guy. I just play Smash Bros. I'm going to be completely honest. But people regard it as one of the best party fighting games of all time. And it was so good. Like, I remember getting it. Yeah, Smash and Mario Kart, of course. People love Double Dash. But Melee, I loved that game. There was so much to it.
Is it like
it was so fun?
Big competitive game, the Smash Brother on GameCube. They still have competitions on that game.
Yes, they still have competitions over Melee, and which is crazy.
That is crazy.
Some other GameCube games,
and that gets intense too, from what I heard.
Other GameCube games. Getting on to Zelda, they have the Wind Waker. When that one came out, people were very iffy about it because cel shaded graphics and whatnot. But it was so fun, just traversing the ocean and the whole story of it. We need a Wind Waker port, the Wind Waker HD Wii U port to the Switch. We need it. It's like Zelda's 35th anniversary or something this year. Please let that happen.
So real quick, when you said port, that made me think of something. So shout out to C-Dude 9590, aka Chase. I don't know why I use his username for, but Chase actually sent me a link. Xbox Series S, you can legally not mod it, but you can it will legally stream. I can't say the right words, but it will legally Xbox One Series S now. I don't even think the X does this. Maybe the X does it. I don't know. But the Xbox Series S is the only console that you can literally stream any game of all time.
Yeah, pretty much.
There are some games that don't work. So I don't know, Matt, you might know more about this than I do. But there's some games that don't quite work. But yeah.
Yeah, it's just a game that can port pretty much any game over. I'm only going to mention a couple more GameCube games and not hold y'all over too much. Pikmin 1 and 2. One of the greatest games out there. I don't care. It's such a fun real-time strategy game. I got the train going on in the background too again. But Pikmin, it's so fun. They just came out with Pikmin 3 on the Switch. It's not as good as Pikmin 2 to me, but Pikmin 2 is a great game. And got to give a shout out to Luigi's Mansion as well and Mario Sunshine. Great games.
And that's the OG, right? That's the OG Luigi's Mansion, right?
Yes, the very first Luigi's Mansion was on GameCube. Luigi's Mansion was really fun. I got scared of it as a kid. I don't know why. I wouldn't play it at a dark time, but like right when I woke up in the morning, like on a Saturday morning, I'd be playing Luigi's Mansion.
One game that I remember playing on the GameCube, because like of course I played every wrestling game possible. Day of Reckoning. I don't know. I don't even remember much about it, but I do remember that title, and that was that was something else. Day of Reckoning, for those that know. Randy Orton, I believe, was on the cover. Was he on the cover? I don't know. Yeah, he was. They also had Day of Reckoning too. I remember that one being trapped.
And then if y'all want to do Game Boy Advance next, I don't know how much Game Boy Advance games y'all played.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I had to look and see what I played Game Boy Advance. I just don't know what was actually on the Advance versus not. So we'll do that. Yeah, go ahead, Matt. I'll let you go first.
Piwko, do you want to go first? No, you had some Game Boy Advance games you want to talk about.
That's all I played was Game Boy Advance. I went from Game Boy Advance to Game Boy Advance SP, and that was my childhood. That was where I started. That was my first Nintendo systems. So these, so yeah. Other than like Pokemon, I'd have to and Kingdom Hearts, I'd have to go through like my what's it called, my thing and look for.
Okay. Some of my favorite Game Boy Advance games, not just counting Pokemon. My favorite Pokemon game, by the way, on the Game Boy Advance was Emerald. Emerald was great. But besides Pokemon games, I have to give a shout out to Mega Man Battle Network. It was so fun, and if anyone knows what I'm talking about, you know, because the RPG mechanics in the game, the chip battle system, the music, the story, the characters, the fact that you have this net navi that you plug into the net and you go fight these virus busters to take down this evil crime syndicate organization. It's such a good game. They came out with like freaking 6 of them on the Game Boy Advance. So there was 6 different ones at some point, and they did the whole Pokemon double version thing. So you had 12 different games, which was insane. And I was obsessed with those games. Please make a remake. Whoever I have to talk to have that happen. Capcom, I think, would be the person I have to go to. Capcom, please remake these games.
All right, so we have a new person joining in. It is the instant classic, as I will always call him. I don't know if he's on video or not, but Brandon, what's up?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Kind of wonky. Let me know if it like
with his 500 with his 500 graphic.
Best game ever.
That's awesome. So Brandon, what are some of your you can you did some in the chat, but what are some of your favorite OG games?
I'm not gonna OD over y'all's your conversation. How did this topic get started? You just talking about your favorite game?
No. Randy asked us a question. I'm like, I've been wanting to talk. Me and my friends have actually been talking about it, and I was like, well, let's do it now.
What did you leave off at?
We were on. What are we on now,
Game
Matt?
Boy
We're
Advance.
on Game Boy Advance, but we already talked about 64. Obviously, you were in that conversation.
I never owned a Game Boy, man. The only handheld that I had other than the DS was a Game Gear. Was that what it's called from Sega?
Yeah.
I never had the
Brandon, we're dating ourselves with that one. Game Gear.
Yeah, 6 AA batteries it took.
Yeah.
I will say that my first my first Nintendo. Hold on, my first Nintendo system was the Game Boy Advance. Other than that, I had the PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, eventually 5. So like I was like a PlayStation guy, and then I got this like the Wii.
I'm looking at Game Boy Advance games now, and I don't remember any of these.
I didn't play much PlayStation 1, but since Piwko just mentioned it, we could talk about PlayStation 1 because I'm pretty sure everyone else has probably played a lot of PS1 besides me.
I gotta look at the game that I played. I played one game.
All right, so we're going to PlayStation next. Brandon, you want to start off since you're new?
So
we're gonna get harder and harder. Once we get to the next gen, we're gonna get even harder, I believe.
So I have, like everything else, a nostalgic feeling for those consoles, specifically that generation. Being you talked about 64 already and PS1. I don't think they hold up very well. Like video games entering into the 3D realm. It was very cool at the time, but it doesn't hold up very well. But
it's hard to go back. Yeah, I agree. It's hard to go back to that.
But I mean, I played a lot of Tomb Raider back then. I was really into Metal Gear Solid. Like that was like one of my favorite games for sure, and that's like really when I got big into like sports games as well.
To answer Ethan's question real quick, why they stopped making NCAA games? It's a licensing deal. They can't.
Dude, they do need to make more of those. If they make an NCAA,
they're rumored to be
time to stand up
in talks to do one. But is that what your Apple Watch is telling you?
Yeah. If they okay, let me tell you this: if they release an NCAA football game, I would prefer a basketball game. But if they did a football game or a basketball game, I'll be in line like the moment that it gets released.
But the reason why I think it's coming soon, and it's in the work because if you haven't played Madden or NBA lately, they have incorporated certain colleges into those games. So I think it's coming. I think it's coming.
I mean, fingers crossed, dude. I really want.
It's just player likeness, Ethan. Like players were mad, started fighting it, and that was it. Which rightfully so. I mean, you got Deshaun. I mean, well, I don't know. What was the last one? 2014. 14. Who was the Michigan player that was on the front? Somebody was, I think, from Michigan was on the front. But yeah. So I mean, hopefully we'll get it. I mean,
the only PS1 games I played was Parappa the Rapper, which was for some reason a really hard rhythm game. I don't know. I don't understand why. I just always had a hard time with it. And then I also really like. I went back and I played some after playing the remake of it. Final Fantasy VII, great game.
So one of my favorite games, I can't remember if it, and hopefully someone in here will know if it was PlayStation or PlayStation 2. I think it might have been PlayStation 2. But Driver, did the original Driver come out on PlayStation or PlayStation 2?
PlayStation 1.
PlayStation 1. And then I played more of Driver 2 than Driver 1. But that game was ahead of its time too. Grand Theft Auto doesn't, which I think Grand Theft Auto might have came out around the same time. But that game doesn't, Grand Theft Auto doesn't happen if Driver doesn't. Because you can just randomly steal people's cars. Like, I was like, this is so awesome. I don't even remember the story of Driver if there was one.
What a great game.
Such a great game. Driver for sure. I tried Driver 2 as well.
If you ever seen the Blues Brothers where they drive the car over like the bridge that goes up, so many times we would go into like Chicago on Driver and just try to do that like jump. That game, between that game and this Power Rangers game, I used to play those. That was the only two games that I played.
Yeah. Oh, that's another one that I knew I'd forget one. I played the Power Rangers game on Game Boy all the time. That game was not easy, by the way.
I don't remember the Power Rangers game for Game Boy.
But yeah. I hate to just skip ahead, but I'm sure everyone here has played PS2 and probably a lot of it.
We can move on to PlayStation 2. You're good.
Yeah, we should definitely move on to PS2. I don't know who wants to start off first because there's just so many games.
Yeah, that's what I said. Now we're going into where there's going to be so many games. I still have my OG PlayStation 2. I know how it works, but
I know it's cool.
Here's a question, and I want everybody to answer this. Okay, like, what was the first system? Which I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this.
Midnight Club. Look at
you played online with.
What do you mean?
PS3.
PS3.
I had the PS2.
PS2. I had the little attachment. Is that what you're talking about, Brandon?
Yeah, the network extender or network adapter.
It never would work for mine. I don't know why. It just wouldn't work.
I played. So actually, no. I take that back. That was a lie. The first time I ever played a game online was NBA 2K1 on the Sega Dreamcast. It was dial-up. It was very hard to do anything, but it was just the sensation of playing with someone that you knew and they weren't in the same room was really cool on there. But the first time I actually got it to work was, I think, NBA Live 2003, and then, it was through the PS2. The PS2 is the best console ever, in my opinion.
I actually agree with that too. I think it's hard. It's hard, man, because the 64. I have a heart for the 64, but that PlayStation 2, man, that the 64. Like you're still kind of in that kid mode with games, right? Like as a kid, like you can love just about anything, but then sometimes you kind of grow out of certain things. But the PlayStation 2, that was it. I was never going to not love video games. That was it. Smuggler's Run was the game I got with PlayStation 2 at Christmas. The year I got.
I mean, you got to think like most people's first DVD player was the PS2.
Yep. And that's one thing. Like a lot of people are shocked. Like, I guess it's the gamer in me, but I'm like, when people talk about I need a Blu-ray player, I'm like, well, just buy an Xbox or buy a PlayStation 4, and they're like, I don't want to spend $300. It was like, it's literally like, well, now I don't know what they're going for now. It's hard to find a PS4 now, actually, but you're only like, I'll never play games, but if the one chance you'll play a game, like a Blu-ray player is like a 4K Blu-ray player is like $170 at best. So it's like, why not pay a little more? And a double I can understand. I'm not going all that route, but anyways, that was just a random thought. But yeah, so PlayStation 2 games. Wow. Oh my God, where do we even freaking begin? First of all, we'll mention this. Joe, he's probably not in here anymore, but he mentioned this earlier, so I'll start with this one. The greatest wrestling game of all time, and there is no argument for me, and it's Here Comes the Pain. It is. It's not even close to for me. WCW NWO Revenge is one of the ones I have nostalgia to, but Here Comes the Pain actually still holds up more than Revenge would now.
I won't argue.
You won't argue? Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I mean, Here Comes the Pain. It's such a good game. Ethan, I can't remember if you played that, but you need to play that. You probably haven't because you don't have a PlayStation 2. But
I don't remember if I've got heat with Brandon for this one or not. But hold on one second, please.
Oh, you got okay. So Mike's.
What are you gonna say? WWF Crush Hour?
Oh,
so whatever.
Great, the greatest.
That's a good game. Does that was the first one with GM, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, GM mode, which
I
still to this day think GM mode is super overrated. But
I mean, I don't remember. I would just do some matches here and there
because people kept wanting GM mode in the new games, and I'm like, why?
The non-wrestling
Universe mode is way better than GM mode ever was.
Non-wrestling games that so I don't want to mention Grand Theft Auto yet, but there was I just showed it in the PS2, but like the Midnight Club like driving series, like Midnight Club. I used to play those all the time. I rebought one of them on the PlayStation 3 because I wanted to play it. Like that, we would just drive around. You wreck the car, it respawns after a while. You drive in like California and stuff. Like that was like the best.
So that's a good point. Like, there's so much, like, obviously in different genres and different things that you buy now, but like in video games too, like there's so much of a market for a remarket, and you open it up to new gamers, and you open it up to like, so Tony Hawk just released. I haven't played it because I got
it over there.
Fantastic game.
The remake is fantastic.
It is amazing. Yes,
it's somewhere over there.
Shout out actually to Ethan's dad. Ethan's dad was huge into Tony Hawk when he was a kid. I did play. I think I played the second one. I don't remember which one I played. Second one or third one.
I played the Underground too, I think.
But yeah, so I played that one a lot. But I wasn't that good, so I don't have that nostalgia fact to it. But I have heard from Brandon. You just heard it from him. And Piwko as well. I went the wrong way. But Piwko and Ethan's dad love the remake. The remake is really good.
Yeah.
But
yeah, 100% that game was very good.
Yeah.
It's like $30 or something.
Yeah, it's cheap, right? You get what, 1 and 2? Is that what you get?
You get 1, 2, and then like you can do like the free skate and stuff.
Yeah.
3 was my favorite on PS2. 3 was the absolute
USA
best.
just scored, by the way.
Who did? USA scored.
USA. Shout out to USA. Sorry.
You talking about soccer?
Hockey. We're playing Canada in the for the gold.
Oh, shout out to Canada then. So listen here. The second game, look, this top 5 could change a lot, like depending on the mood that I'm in, right? But the second I still say is a top 5, and probably my second favorite game of all time is Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. Like, that game is unreal. That game, I literally still remember that boss fight. I still remember those boss fights. That game, and I'm not even a big I didn't play Metal Gear 1. I don't think I ever played it. Maybe I did. I don't know. Metal Gear 2, I did play a little bit of, but 3, I fell in love with that game. And I can't imagine people that actually know that, like, the story way more than I did. Like, I think I did play 2, but and then the third one, and then I haven't played any since. I downloaded the 4th or 5th one, Brandon, that's on, like, that you could buy on gold or whatever. Not buy on gold, but get for free. So I got it in my library, and I've said I'm always going to play it. Maybe I'll play it when I get a PS5. But yeah, so like That game, I don't know if anybody else played it. Obviously, no one's saying anything, so probably not.
No, I played Sons of Liberty. I went to that game.
Right. Okay. So, and I think I more so watched my friend play that one. I think was more.
I assume the boss fight you're talking about is the one where he switches your memory cards and your controller slots around. Is that the one you're talking about?
On the what?
Which Metal Gear boss was that? What game was he in? There was a boss where when you fought him, he would literally like change your memory cards around what slot it's supposed to be reading from, so that way it would like mess up with your game. And it was one of the most creative boss fights ever.
Oh wow, I don't remember that. No, the one I'm talking about. God, what's his name? I gotta look up boss villains now while I'm thinking about this. But let's see. Let me create another tab so I don't lose that other tab. Let's see. Boss. Let's see.
Google that actually.
Ear Solid Snake Eater.
Did I say my favorite game of all time that I'm looking up right now to see if I can buy it on PS4?
Oh, the end was one of them. The fear, you played the pain, the fury, the sorrow. They all had like, and then obviously Ocelot was in that as well. So yeah, the end, the fear, the pain, like all those, because it was like it was not only a boss battle, but you played the boss battle and they like talked the entire time. Like they were true villain boss battle. Like they would talk. They would be like, they would talk to Snake. They would tell, and obviously every time you die, a Snake is still iconic. Snake.
Okay, that boss was in Twin Snakes, from what I saw.
Twin Snakes. Okay, all right. I did not play that one, but
yeah. The only reason I bring that up is I never played a Metal Gear Solid game until 4, and that boss was in 4. And he tried to do the same thing, and he said, "Oh, it doesn't work. You have internal memory now."
That's awesome. That's awesome. Video games can be so awesome.
Yeah, that's such a cool callback.
That's another good thing too, Matt. Like sometimes you get into the generation late. It's like movies or even TV shows as well. Like you get in late, and then you go back and play, and then sometimes video games it's a little harder to do that. Like to go back to the original games unless it's like ported for the PS4. Like I did that with Uncharted. I got into that game late, but I was able to play all of them because they gave them to you for free. Or I might have borrowed those from Brandon. Actually, I can't remember. But Uncharted 4, we'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, so like that's just cool. I think that's like, and then you can like obviously. So if they come out with a new one, then you're like Ethan. Like Ethan is playing games that were like, oh, you should have played the original. Like you know. And then another thing, I have never touched ever, and we're gonna get to this eventually. But like I've never touched a God of War game ever. I've decided to finally, because someone gave me a free copy, finally downloaded God of War, the new one on PS4. Well, it's not new anymore. It's what, 2 years old now? Maybe longer than that. Yeah, it's older than that. That game, I stopped. I haven't been able to, I got away from it and distracted, but I'm going to go back. That game is amazing. Mm-hmm. That game is literally might be one of my favorite games of all time. It's hard. It is so freaking hard. I'm not going to lie. Like, maybe I'm just the only one that's having a hard time with it. But, like, it's not easy. I die a lot. But, golly, the story and the way that – and apparently that's – Brandon, you might know because you were commenting, like, when I said something about God of War. It's not like the old God of Wars, correct?
No, yeah, it's way more role-playing elements to the new one versus like the old ones for PS2. It was basically just like hack and slash, just how fast can you press square to kill everybody.
Did you play the OG ones?
Yeah, I played through the first one, and I played a little bit of I think God of War 2 as well. I never beat it, but yeah, they were fun games. I mean, mindless just hack and slash, but I didn't. Back then I didn't mind those games.
And they played on PlayStation 2 as well. They came out, both of them came out on PlayStation 2, correct?
Yeah, I think they have like a whole collection out you can get on PS4.
Yeah, and another one I just saw that I didn't play a lot of, but since we're talking about racing games, it's just definitely an OG racing game. It's kind of, I don't even think they make them anymore, to be honest. They might, I don't know. But Gran Turismo.
Yeah, Gran Turismo's still out.
Yeah, so I guess they still make them. But Gran Turismo was it's kind of hidden now, but Gran Turismo 4 was a big game that I played.
It was cool if you like that racing sim. Like, I used to always say it was the best, but nowadays, the Fords have pretty much just taken over that for sure. But as far as like PS2 era, my favorite racing games were easily the Need for Speed Underground series.
Oh yes, I was going to mention that. I'm glad you mentioned those. Yep.
Yeah, like back when Fast and Furious was like really big into like the car culture and everything. That game was amazing.
It's so crazy because literally Ethan's in here, and me and his dad literally spent hours playing that game. hours upon hours, days actually. If you, I mean, like go to bed at 6 a.m., get up at 12, and start all over again. Like,
somebody mentioned favorite football game, and
right.
PS2 definitely has like the Madden era PS2.
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite. 03, 04, 05.
Yeah.
But I want to definitely show love to if you guys remember the EA Sports Big catalog, where they had like NFL Street and NBA Street. Like NBA Street Volume 2 is like one of my favorite all-time basketball games.
Yep, I just saw that. Yep.
Def Jam Vendetta,
Def Jam,
FIFA Street, SSX. SSX was like one of the first games I ever got on my PS2.
Yeah.
Oh, the Street. Okay, I'm looking at the covers now. Yeah,
this might be controversial. Brandon might hit me, or I don't know, Matt might eat too as well if he played it. But ESPN 2K5, right? To me, it's one of the most overrated football games. It was ahead of its time. I'm not gonna say like, but game-wise, like actually playing the game, I don't think it was that good. Like it had all the setting, like tons of stuff that even Madden today doesn't have, which is kind of sad. But like the actual gameplay, I was never a fan. Yeah, I know.
That was fine because I played the NFL 2K. I played those games on Dreamcast and I enjoyed it. But I just thought Madden was a better game at that time. Now, if you talk about like Madden today, I'd much rather play NFL 2K5 than any Madden game today.
Right. See, that's what I'm saying, Ross. Like to me, it's overrated because everybody says like it was ahead of its time, and it was, and as far as presentation and as far as what you could do. But it was like the gameplay was not top notch.
I remember playing NFL Game Day 2004. That was my football game on the PlayStation.
But Madden, my favorite Madden memory, like the one I think of when I think of like what made me fall in love with Madden was the one with Ray Lewis on the cover, which I think was 2005.
That was 5, yeah.
Yeah, that's to me the best.
Did you guys on your PS2
next year, 2006, when they added QB Vision? That was the worst Madden. 06 Madden was the worst.
Did you guys when you got like accessories for your PS2, did you do like the specific Sony brand, or did you like mess around like Mad Catz and all the third-party brands?
I had a Mad Catz SmackDown controller.
I think I had a Mad Catz wireless controller.
I had a SmackDown controller.
Yeah. Let's see. PS2.
One of the best things, even though a lot of the N64 had the ability to do it, but I love the peripheral, the multi-tap. It was like one of my favorite things where you can get like a bunch of people over and play the same game. I thought it was really cool.
And one thing I'll say about the about 2K5, Ross, technically it can't be overrated because it's like Madden obviously is always. I mean, Madden was killing it, so it's like I think it was more so like it's one of those like gems that people think that they give more praise to it than I think it deserves. But Madden, you can always hate on Madden because Madden does not adapt at all.
This might start a Rockstar thing, but I really liked Bully. If any of y'all played Bully,
that's the only one I never played. Bully, I never played.
Bully was underrated.
Bully was a really fun game. It was so fun to just go out and play as a kid in school. I mean, I guess they came out with that game at the time to market it towards a younger audience because GTA was such a huge controversy at the time. People were so up in arms about it. The fact that you had strippers in a game, and now you have Cyberpunk 2077 having full on nude sex scenes and crazy stuff like that.
It's crazy because like I don't know, like I know, like I don't know what all Cyberpunk does, so apparently it might be all open arms, but like
yeah,
I don't know if Grand Theft Auto comes out now if it lasts. Like, would you agree with that? Like, I don't know. Like
brand new
in today's world, like
I guess. Yeah, you're right.
I don't know if it. I don't know if it gets good pub. But Cyberpunk has not gotten good publicity, but not because. But that's probably because they probably haven't talked about all the stuff that you can do, and I'm not going to talk about it because there's a kid watching. But yeah.
But on the thing of Grand Theft Auto for a second, okay, my favorite PlayStation 2 game of all time, maybe my favorite Grand Theft Auto game of all time, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. I mean, I had stacks of papers of cheat codes. Like, it was ridiculous, like printouts and stuff. I mean,
cheat codes. The kids
incredible.
Don't struggle that we had to do, they, Brandon.
Yeah, man. No,
man, they don't even know.
I remember at book fairs, people would always go and buy the cheat code books.
Nintendo 64 Power. Like, I found out about cheat codes through that magazine. Like, I was like, what?
I just Googled it. I would just like go on whatever search we had, like Internet Explorer search.
Google. Sorry.
Internet Explorer search.
But I mean, it took too long to do a dial-up to try to find a cheat code that way.
You can go on Ask Jeeves.
Ask Jeeves. Oh my god! Now we're dating ourselves.
Yeah, I used to do game FAQs, and then there was cheats something. I forgot what it was. But before that, it was honestly going to Walmart and going to the magazine section and looking in the back of the video game magazine and writing down the codes.
The website I always looked to find, like, it had cheat codes, but it also had like wrestling stuff. Like it would tell you exactly what you needed to do to unlock every attire and stuff. I remember doing. I don't know.
I just looked up the Ask Jeeves logo and immediately it just hit me in the face. Like I definitely searched that before.
Yeah, that's definitely.
We'll get to your question. Hold on to that Batman question because I have something to comment on that. But so, any other PlayStation 2 games?
I have a couple more I want to shout out.
Oh, yeah. I do have one more real quick because I know I just asked that and then interrupted. But NASCAR, just gonna throw it out there. I played a lot of NASCAR 99 was the stuff.
That was EA Sports' heyday. Like they couldn't do no wrong. Like even like the arena football game was pretty good. Like, they killed everything.
Yeah.
Baseball, I loved it.
Of course, I got a shout out because I fuck with Japan culture and shit. There's a game called Okami, and
Okami.
It's people compare it to like a Zelda game. It was so good. The art style in it.
The art was really cool.
Day. Yes, the art was amazing. I just loved that game so much. And once you hit like a middle climax of the game, you think it's over, and you're about like 20 hours into the game. And then you beat that boss, and it just goes on for another 20 more hours. And it's just crazy how good it is. It's such a good game. And then I got to shout out Kingdom Hearts 2, one of my favorite games of all time. I got to just say that.
I was waiting for you to call that one out.
Yeah, I got to call that one out. And then, of course, Devil May Cry 3, amazing hack and slash action game, just so good. And lastly, I'll end it off with the Ratchet and Clank trilogy and the Sly Cooper trilogy, both amazing games.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't play the last ones that you said, but yeah, I mean, that's Driver 2, of course. I talked about Driver 1, but Driver 2 I played so much of that game. Yeah, so much. Let's see. I'm trying to think of anything else on the PlayStation 2.
You didn't ask, but Shut Your Mouth is my favorite wrestling game on there.
Yeah, Shut Your Mouth is great as well. It is. That was like one of the first ones I played a lot of outside of like 64 games. Because when I played the 64 games, I didn't have a lot of wrestling fan friends. So I didn't. Those have nostalgia for me, but not with like playing. Shut Your Mouth was when I started playing like with Ethan's dad and stuff. So let's see. I guess PlayStation 3, which I never owned a PlayStation 3. So I'll let somebody else start on that one.
Dude, like I was saving up when I was graduating high school. I was saving up for a PS3, then it came out that it was going to be $600, and I was like, "Screw that!" So I bought a what was the handheld thing? The PSP.
PSP. Oh my god!
I bought the PSP.
I did
one game. I used it mostly just to watch like videos and stuff on, and I ended up selling it like probably 6 months later. But either way, a year after it came out, I finally got the PS3, $600. I got the 60 gig backwards compatible and everything. And it's just, there was no games out for it at the time. And I played a couple things, but for the most part, everybody, like all my friends, had switched over to 360. So I pretty much sold it. And I never got to experience like all like Uncharted and all the games that came out until much later into like the PS4 era. But I'm definitely sad that I got rid of that thing because it was the beast. In fact, it could play I could play all my PS2 and PS1 games. I really wish I would have kept it.
And the good thing about like I said, that's the first one in this set that I think we didn't do original Xbox either, by the way. So I guess we'll have to go back to that. Unless somebody want to. I didn't own an original Xbox either.
I never had one.
But I did one shout out to a game on that is I guess the first Halo came out on Xbox, but I didn't play Halo then. An OG Xbox game I will say real quick is Raw 2. I can't remember which one.
Oh God, really?
They were awful. They were awful. But I played so many hours into those games. Creatively though, they had a lot of things you could do. You could put music in the game.
The music, yeah, was cool.
Yeah, so like there's some things you could do creatively, but obviously after we created our guys, there was nothing to do after that. The storyline mode was whatever. But it was something to do. But anyway, so PS3 I never actually owned, and like with Brandon, thank God for PS4 because that's when I played all the Uncharted's. Like I played what's another series that I didn't play on PlayStation 3, but I played on 4. Last of Us that was a PlayStation game, right?
That was a PS3 game, yeah. Pretty much the end of the PS3 got really like fire like near the end of the life cycle. That's when they were just pumping out crazy games, and I was very jealous that I didn't have one.
Yeah, there's a lot of great, like if you look at the greatest hits, like PS4 editions of them, like there's a lot of those are PS3 games. Like
I had the PS3 early on in its life cycle, like Brandon. And the only games that I really remember playing a lot of, I played Metal Gear Solid 4. I actually got that with the PS3, which is a great game. I already mentioned it. I also like to shout out Infamous. The Infamous game was really fun. It's a really fun game where you're kind of like a borderline kind of tweener, I guess is the wrestling term I could use for it, where you could be a face or a heel depending on what you do in the game and the actions you do. And some of the superpowers in it were really fun. Other than that, any other game I would mention would have been a multi-platform game. Like Far Cry 3. I love Far Cry 3. Never played much of the other Far Cries after that, but Far Cry 3 is a great game.
Max Payne also, I think that came out on PlayStation 2 as well. We forgot about that one.
Yeah. But as far as PS3 goes, I don't really have too much of an attachment to it. Also got to shout out Devil May Cry 4, another great game.
Matt, question. Go ahead, Brand.
I was going to say the best thing about the PS3 at the time was my first Blu-ray player.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's amazing. Isn't it crazy? And Brandon mentioned this. Isn't it crazy the PS3 launched at $600 and the PS5 isn't even that much?
I mean, it's wild.
Insane. I thought the next gens, like at that point, I was like, one day we're going to hit 1,000. And they haven't yet.
The most nostalgic thing for the PS3 for me is I've already told the story though. I used to make videos on the PlayStation camera, put them on an SD card, move them to the computer, and that's how I made my first YouTube videos.
Wow.
Yeah, back on the PS3 camera.
Yeah. So anyways, I don't have any PlayStation 3 games that I played when I think I ended up borrowing a PlayStation 3 late in the end to do that. But so I guess Xbox 360 is next, and that was another console that just, and I'm going to go ahead and start it because Brandon's in here, and we spent like probably years on this game. I think we did. I think I played with Brandon. I want to say I did. Maybe not. Maybe it was after that. But Gears of War 2, Gears of War and Gears of War 2. Oh my God, the hours I spent on that game. Oh my God. Like to the point of one day, I don't know when, but I will get a Gears of War gear with the skull as a tattoo. Like that's always been an idea for a tattoo. Like that is so. Oh, I love Gears of War. And in fact, I have Gears of 5 because apparently right now, since I've had an Xbox, I have my Series S right here. I just turned it on. But anyways, not that you care. But they have a DLC. So I don't know if Brandon knew that or not. But there's Chase told me that there's a DLC campaign, so I got to play that as well. And I actually played some Horde mode, and it brought back lots of memories. And of course, we're going to talk about Halo. I'll let someone else talk about Halo, but Halo 3, I spent so much time on that game.
The reason why I got the 360 was for Gears. My girlfriend at the time, she convinced me like this was the best game ever, and I ended up. That's why I said I traded in my PS3 and ended up getting that. And yeah, I mean, easily my favorite series on 360.
It's not even close.
Yeah, I never played much of Gears 1 or 2. I played a lot of Gears 3 though. I played actually with Danny quite a bit. Danny and Destin, I want to say. I
think 3 is when me and Brandon started playing. I believe. I think it was Gears of War 3. Brandon, it might have been 2. I don't know. But yeah, so like obviously that, right? Halo, obviously, right? And then obviously another, Halo 3. I played Halo Reach, all the Halos. I'm gonna play the Master Chief Collection, which is free on Game Pass for anybody that has Xbox. I say free on Game Pass, but obviously you have to pay for Game Pass, as Matt corrected me on the Nintendo Switch. So I looked at you and remembered, don't say it's free because technically it's not. Game Pass is a steal, by the way. I'm sorry. Like Xbox versus PlayStation, you can argue all you want. Xbox has that market. Like they're killing that. Now, granted, that means they're probably actually losing money with Game Pass. Like I feel like Xbox is not doing well.
Yeah, Microsoft sells computers; they'll be all right.
Right, yeah. Which is why they can do that. And I mean, Sony, of course, sells a lot of stuff too. But Sony I've always said, is the greedier of the two. and I think it kind of shows. But I think the PS4 is by far the better system versus the Xbox. But just because Xbox, the games have just been. But now with Game Pass, like I can understand, like you can go back and play some old game, and it's like, and they're putting new titles on there. That's what I think is the pull to Xbox. But yeah, so another series that I loved, another top 5 game of all time, Red Dead Redemption. I played that on 360. Spent hours on that game. Red Dead 2 was the most anticipated game of all time for me. Like Red Dead 2 was like, after playing Red Dead, the first one, like I was so ready for that game. And I'm not sure someone can maybe shout it out, but the years between those two games, that's a long time.
Red Dead was 2010 and Red Dead 2 was 2018, I think.
Yeah, so 8 years, yeah. And then I played Red Dead Revolver, actually. I think it's called Red Dead Revolver. The first, like the OG one. I don't remember what system that came on. I didn't mention that. That was also a really good game. Probably doesn't hold up because of the graphics. But yeah, so that's a good game, Red Dead. I mean, I'm sure people in here have played that. And another one that I would say is, I think, two other series. One that's probably less common than most people, but it's on Game Pass, and I'm going to replay it, and I'm probably going to stream it because it's amazing. Dead Space, great series. Dead Space 3 kind of gets a little weird, but Dead Space and Dead Space 2 is amazing games. And then also BioShock, which also re-released Dead Space hasn't re-released it. That's just on Game Pass. But BioShock released a collection that you can play those as well, and those are amazing. Infinite is the only one I have not finished. It just didn't feel the same, so I stopped playing it.
Got to shout out Portal 2. Portal 2 was a really fun game too.
Shout out the whole Orange Box.
Orange Box.
For sure. I personally love Portal more myself. I just really enjoyed that game. Portal was awesome. As far as like most of the because I don't really like to play a lot of online games, mainly because I'm not the best at them. And of course it takes time to get better at some of these games, but it's just never been my kind of lane. So I tend to gravitate towards more of a single player kind of stuff. That's why I play more PlayStation games than I do like an Xbox kind of side of things. I'd also like to shout out Minecraft. Me and Piwko played a lot of Minecraft back in the day, so I got to give Minecraft a shout out.
I mean, we can talk like 7 years on Minecraft and how great it is and how great it still is. Well, I haven't played it in I played it last year, but I mean, Minecraft, there's 2 different kinds of Minecraft. There's the Minecraft of yesteryear, and then there's today's Minecraft. And I wish today's Minecraft just didn't exist. But the desktop version of Minecraft in 2012, 13, 14, even 2015. I mean, it's just an incredible game. And
so to answer Ethan's question finally, since we're on the system that they started coming out on, my favorite Batman game, Arkham Asylum, is probably still my favorite. And speaking of those games, Arkham Asylum, there's also Arkham Knight and Arkham City. I don't remember the order, to be honest. And there might be another one I'm missing. I feel like there is. But they had them on sale. You could buy one of them's on Game Pass. I can't remember which one. I think it's Arkham Knight. But they had us box.
The bad one.
The bad one, yeah. Of them all, yeah, the bad one. They had a collection of them where you could get every DLC they've ever had. All the games, I'm pretty sure all of them are on there. I think all 3 of them are on there, and it was $11. So I jumped on that sale. So I want to play through those again, for sure. So yeah, my favorite is Arkham Asylum. I don't know what Brandon's favorite is.
It's a multi. I didn't play a lot of the Batman games. I played the first one a lot, but that was pretty much it. I think Arkham City is what it was.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a multi-plat game, but I got to give a shout out to Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2.
Yeah.
Because those games were just so much fun.
A new thing made by those guys.
Yeah, Back 4 Blood. I saw that.
Yeah, Back 4 Blood. Ethan's dad was telling me about that.
Did you guys ever have a 360 red ring on you?
Oh, yes. So, so that's funny that you said that. I have a story about it. If you want to go ahead and tell yours first, but.
I never had one. I own 3 consoles and none of them red ring on me.
I had one. I only had one console, and it was the white one. Well, at the time, and it literally, I was just I had heard about the rumors, and I felt like I had gotten past the the threshold of okay, it's not happened yet, so I think I'm fine. Playing Halo 3, sitting in my living room, all of a sudden, boom, turns off, and I see the red rings, and I literally get on the floor. Like, I remember that moment. I will never forget that moment. But I sent it off. Shout out to Xbox because I sent it off. They came back, and that Xbox 360 got used up until the point of Curtis recently buying a PS4. So shout out to them on that. So
I don't have a story about my Xbox doing it, but my PS3, I had the yellow light of death actually.
Oh no! Wow, that's rare, more rare than I've heard. Like,
yeah,
many people had.
And mine was the original fat backwards compatible PS3 that had, God knows why they had so many different ports on there that you could plug in such random cables and memory slots. I don't understand it. But yeah, mine, it got the yellow light of death, and I just didn't know what to do, and I was just screwed. And then shortly after that, I converted to Xbox 360 because everyone had an Xbox. It was just what everyone had. And granted, it wasn't my favorite console. I just never really vibed with it, the Xbox myself. But I had fun with it. But the PS3, that's the only thing that's the only system malfunction I had from that era of all these systems malfunctioning. And granted, the PS3, like you said, the yellow light of death was a lot more rare. You didn't hear a lot of that. You always heard of people getting the red ring of death. Like, it was constant.
Did you send your PS3 in or no?
I didn't bother even sending it in. I didn't even think that'd be something I could have done at the time. I didn't understand. I thought it was something that maybe I had done. And
right. I was definitely afraid. Dude, that was the longest wait. I don't know how long it ended up taking. I feel like it didn't take that long. That was the longest wait because I was like, I just thought it wasn't going to come back.
Yeah, because like my friend.
Nowadays you have all these hotlines. You can attack them on Twitter. Like, they don't have that. They didn't have that even then.
Yeah, my friend, he had the red ring of death happen, and he sent his in, and he never really got it back, I believe. It was just crazy.
Yes, I heard that. Yeah, that's funny you said. I think that's what I heard. Like, there was like they wouldn't it's getting hot in my room. Like, they literally wouldn't send some people didn't get them back is what I was trying to say. But yeah, so as far as 360 games, I don't know that aren't multi-platform.
I was gonna ask because I always had a PS3. I never had an Xbox 360. So what did you guys think about the fact that you had to pay for online on the 360 versus the PS3? It was free, because that was a big point of contention in my school.
Yeah, it was. I think it was worth it. I didn't have a PlayStation 3. I had a 360, so I didn't care. But to me, I was like, well, that's why everyone's playing the 360 and you're playing your PS3.
It felt like just because I had the PlayStation 3 first and I switched over to 360. 360's online, like the whole setup and everything felt more alive than the PS3. Like, it felt dead on the PS3. Even though I was definitely jealous that they got it for free, it just didn't feel as robust and, as like stuff was actually going on as much as like the 360. Like, one of my favorite things as far as like multiplayer and online with 360 is they came out with the 1 versus 100 game. Where everybody could play that. It was like
he played that, I believe, a couple times.
70,000 people playing the game at one time. It was nuts. It was so much fun.
It's crazy they don't really have, like, outside of your battle royales, but like they don't really have anything right now. And you would think the systems would be able, Fall Guys, but that's still not like a lot of players. But that's crazy that they don't have something like that. If they do, it's not popular. I don't know. But yeah, another thing I want to mention, because we're apparently going down memory lane period with video games, which I love. May have to edit this and like put like just that part as like a video on itself. But like achievements on Xbox 360, which I know they had trophies. I don't know which one technically had them first. Someone might know. But Xbox 360 achievements, like to this day, that bloop, like now when I play Xbox, that bloop, like I can't say it right, but like the little sound, like I get that phantomly every so often. Like that.
Yeah, I was addicted to achievements for
getting achievements.
Years,
to the point where I did not want to go to Sony. Like after 360, I did not want to go to Sony because I was like, I can't get a PS4, man. The achievements, like trophies aren't the same. Like, what's a trophy? No one cares about a daggone trophy. Like, but yeah, eventually I did, obviously, because I have a PS4, but no free ads.
Yeah, I feel like since more people gravitated towards the 360, especially early on in the life cycle of those consoles, The achievements definitely felt a lot more had more weight to them than the PlayStation trophies, because you'll never see memes. Like, you see memes of people saying like achievement unlocked,
Yeah,
finally got a girlfriend or some stupid shit.
Right. Right.
And you never see memes of the trophy on the PS3 getting that stuff, just because those achievements on the Xbox are so iconic.
And one thing I'll say too, like, all right, one question I meant, not one thing. Did you ever complete a game on Xbox?
Yep. It was Avatar, The Last Airbender, I think it was. It had five 200-point achievements, and you could get the 5 achievements within the first like 3 minutes of playing the game.
Wow.
Yeah.
You must have been really, really into that achievement grind at that point in time, since you were.
I forgot how we found out about it, and I was working at GameStop at the time, and that's when we could like check out games anytime we want to. So I literally checked it out. I went home, beat it, and brought it back like a couple hours later.
I remember you working for GameStop. That's crazy, Brandon. I remember that. I don't know if I ever I think I completed like a game like that. Like, my goal was to complete Gears, but unfortunately, the only way you could complete Gears, I think one of the few achievements I had left, you had to beat that daggum thing on Insane or whatever it's called, and I never did that. So, but that was a cheap, like back in the Gears, like when it was hot, like Gears one. I don't know which one that was. I guess the first one had it, but like that was the thing. If you got that achievement, like you were like OG, like you were like the guy that like, okay, you have that achievement. Like, I never got it, but.
I just have to ask, since it was just brought up, Brandon, do you watch a lot of people on YouTube talk about their former GameStop experience working as an employee?
I have come across a couple of videos before, but I never actually clicked on it because I figured it was going to be the same thing that I pretty much experienced. Granted, that was, 12 years ago, 13 years ago now, but I would assume it's going to be the same thing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's always interested me because that was just... Because as a kid, you'd think, oh my God, working at GameStop would be like the most amazing thing ever. And then you hear,
right? Yeah.
Yeah. And then you hear all these bad things. It's just whenever you have a company that just makes it so corporate, and I hate to get into a binge about it real quick, but you just get all these district managers probably just worrying just about your numbers and your pre-orders and all that, when in reality no one wants to walk in a GameStop and hear someone trying to sell you pre-orders and sell you their card constantly over and over again. At least that's not what I want as a customer, but that's just
and honestly, like, still to this day, even though they don't push things as like they get a little more creative, because I still shop at GameStop. I might be the only one out of the 4 here that do. I don't know, but like, I buy Pops a lot from GameStop, but that's
all I go in there for.
I do games as well, but I like, and one, because if you have a connection with the person in your GameStop, that's the easiest way to get the Pops that you want. So that's mainly the reason why. But like, what was I gonna say? About pre-order or something. I was talking about GameStop, but
I'm being pressured by GameStop.
Yeah, so now, like, my favorite people in the GameStop are the ones that don't do that. Like, there's always that guy that in a GameStop, you don't go in when he's working because as soon as you go in there, that's the first thing he's going to talk about. Oh, have you played this? Oh, and then he might spoil a game for you. Like, I've had to stop this guy before, like one guy, I'm not going to say his name, but a guy that at a local GameStop where I'm like, bro, I haven't played the game yet. Like, stop.
To be fair to the employees, it's not like their fault. They have the pressure coming down from their managers having to do that, which I thought was trash.
And honestly, and actually, I felt really bad for the lady the other day, because I was in there and I was like looking around while like I had already got one thing, but I was like, I'm gonna look around. Back-to-back people came in with complaints because one was still there when I left, because she was on a 20-minute like hold call or on a hold call because of something. I don't know what it was about, but GameStop wasn't. She couldn't even get GameStop themselves. Like, she's like, you can't even get through to them. And she's like, I know, we're going to do the same thing again. And the lady was livid. And then another guy came in, which he was an idiot. Sorry for a random guy that will never watch this. He called and someone told him that if he buys the PlayStation 5 bundle, he can sell those things separately. Well, when he got there, she told him that's not our policy. I'm not allowed to take things back from the bundle. Like, you can trade it in, like, you can get like the trade-in value, but you can't return it as individual things, which makes sense. It's a bundle. Like, they're not going to make you like it. To me, it made logical sense. Like, it's not her fault. And he's like, well, I'm not mad at you, but this is stupid. I literally called and asked. I'm like, yeah, because they probably thought you meant trading it in.
Yeah.
So But
of course, they want you to trade it in.
Of course they do, because and that was the thing. So then I hear, I'm like, this is about to get good. And he goes, so how much would you give me for it if I traded in Spider-Man? Because he said he already had 2 copies. So he trades that in, or he asked that, and she goes $30, and he goes, what? And I'm like, bro, like, he's like, oh yeah, that's ridiculous. And he's like, well, maybe I'll just try the other GameStop. Maybe that's the one that I called. I'm like, you're gonna get the same answer, bro. But anyways, one thing about now we're going on a GameStop rant, but like one of the things that like I told her, I said, well, I was like, you're an employee, so you do not have to comment at all about this, because I wasn't either working as I was working at Target. But like, GameStop's problem is they're going collection based more than anything. Like, I think one day they're just gonna not sell games anymore. I don't know how they can be called GameStop, but I just think that's where it's going, because they're
borderline out of business.
Yeah, they're really. So like, either they become collection only, which I don't know if that. I mean, I don't know what they make more money off of. Apparently, collection stuff. Because if they don't, how else would they be alive?
I still don't know why Reggie feels. I can never say the guy's name.
Reggie Fils-Aimé.
Yeah, I don't understand why he joined their board. I don't know why he thought he could come to that ship. He's the he used to be the Nintendo president of America.
He's the guy who My Body Is Ready.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, GameStop. I think an easy prediction would be the GameStop's not a thing in 5 years. I think that's an easy prediction.
If I can go back to a game really quickly, I just want to give a quick shout out to Music Games. Guitar Hero, but more importantly, Rock Band, which was my favorite.
Rock, yes, I'm glad you said that, because I saw Guitar Hero.
Yeah, the drums, because I could never do the guitar. I could never do it. So I was either singing on the mic or doing the drums.
Yeah, I was either singing or playing guitar.
I do Guitar Hero. I used to do Guitar Hero, but I have the drum set like from the Wii version that I had downstairs in the basement. Like, right, like I can go find it right now.
But go ahead, Matt.
I loved Guitar Hero 3. Guitar Hero 3 was. Yeah. I mean that was the game everyone played, though, to be fair. But the music list on that game was crazy.
So here's a comment on this. Okay, this is how you know when things are iconic, and it happens in movies. I would even say it happens in music as well. But like, this is kind of music related anyway. It happens in everything. Something happens or is referenced or whatever, and that's the first time you ever hear it, right? Carry On My Wayward Son was the first time I had ever heard that song, and I fell in love with that song in Guitar Hero 3. And to this day, it is a song I will always be like, I'm in the mood, and I'll play it on my Apple Music. So,
you know what's funny about that?
Speaking of, which is the band is Kansas. So there you go, Piwko.
They're up right now. So you know what's funny about that is, so in sixth grade, I think.
Hey, bye, Ethan. Have a good one.
In 6th grade, we went on we had like a 3-day field trip where it was like a camping thing, and so one of like the people that was there, like they brought out their guitar and were playing songs on their guitar for one of the nights, and so the guy played a song, and now back then I didn't know anything about music. Like, I listened to wrestling themes and Christmas music. Those were the 2 things I listened to. So I didn't know like anything. So the dude was playing a song on like his guitar, and I was like, wow, this is such a really good song. So like a year or 2, maybe 3 later, I get the like Guitar Hero from my DS, where it has the little plug-in thing and it pops in.
How does that work?
I'll just send you a picture of it because I have it. It's just like it plugs into like the Game Boy like cartridge thing, and then like you hold the DS and then like you press the buttons and stuff. So
I hated that thing.
I was playing that, and then I heard a song on there, and I'm like, oh my god, this is the song. It was All the Small Things, Blink-182, and like, I don't know why, like I always think of that like whenever I hear that song. So shout out to the DS Guitar Hero.
That sounds brutal.
Yeah, so
I took it back.
so anyways, like, we could obviously talk about the next gen, like PS4, and then obviously we can't talk about the next one really yet. But we'll stop there because I was gonna get off at like 10. So but thank you guys for being on.
PS5 is dope.
PS5 is dope. Apparently, I have the Xbox Series S currently because the PS5 is impossible to get. I don't even want to talk about it. So
the PS5 is pretty cool. Spider-Man Miles Morales, great game.
I don't know how you guys got it. Good luck. I mean, you guys apparently have a connection that I don't have. But anyway, we don't have enough time for me to complain about how that's been done. But anyways, thank you guys for coming on to the Nytemare collection, as we're calling it, because we talked about a lot of things. I am gonna probably, I don't know when I'll do it, but I will probably break this down as far as like later and put a sub video about our video game talk. So because I think it went well. It was fun. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, it's really fun. You never know what could happen.
Exactly. You never know what's going to happen on the Nytemare collection. And thank you for Piwko with the new logo. I will pop that up very soon. That's pretty awesome. So I'll try to do at least one of these a week for sure. And who knows what we talk about. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you. Shout out again to Piwko, We the Piwko. I'll put his website on the, I don't know what he's doing on his website, but I'll put his website on the down below if you ever want to make him to make you a logo. We have Brandon Instant Classic, the real classic on Twitter. Is there numbers? I can't remember if there was numbers to that.
No.
And then we have Matt Beast 1419, aka Matt Datsu. Good luck to his Saints, and you'll see him and hear him on the YWC football talk. I'm sure this week, if not this week, next week.
Go Titans.
And go Titans for Brandon, and go Tom Brady. That's all I've got. All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and I'm out.